I'll put the,
It's 39, one more minute. Okay.
yeah, it takes a while to load.
Is the
This one. A little bit. Yeah.
Right. Right. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here today. This is the general meeting of the Waipuna Halswell-Hornby-Riccarton Community Board. The meeting is live streamed and recordings will be available on the Community Board's YouTube channel. Now, voting records will be published in the minutes and on the council website. If a voting record is not shown for an item in the minutes, it means that item was carried unanimously by those present. Now, if you're sitting in the gallery, in the public gallery, thank you for attending. We welcome your interest in our discussions. Please note that the public gallery should remain quiet during the meeting. And may I please remind everybody to please put your phones on silent mode or turn them off right now. Now, toilets are located in the corridor outside the meeting room. In case of an emergency, please exit via the door at the back of the room. There are 2 staircases to exit the building. Please follow staff directions in the case of an emergency. So may we all please stand up for the karakia. Pakataka te hau ki te uru, pakataka te hau ki te tonga, kia makina ki uta, kia mātaratara ki te ai, e iake ana te atakura, he tio, te huki, te hau, te hei mōiora. So we start off with apologies. We've got an apology from Andre. So he's not, so anybody, yeah. Mover by Mark, seconded by Sarah. All those in favor say aye. Against, none. Carried. Declarations of interest, anything? Nope. Oh. And so confirmation of previous minutes. Mark, seconded by Cody, seconded by Cody, moved by Mark. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Against, carried. Public forum. Now, just a reminder, the public forum will just be 5 minutes for each speaker. That includes the questions and answers with the community board. So if you run out of the 5 minutes, that's it. I'll let you know before the 5 minutes is up. First up, we've got Annette Purvis, chairperson, and James Griggs will address the board on behalf of Ngapunawai Sports Hub Trust regarding future development at Ngapunawai. Welcome. Right.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Right. 5 minutes.
The Ngapunawai Sports Hub Trust was established upon the design and implementation of the Ngapunawai Sports Complex. And that's because some of the sports contributed capital contributions to the build after the devastating earthquakes. The foundation sports at the trust are hockey, athletics, rugby league, tennis, and Sport Canterbury, and more recently netball. And the trust was established to recognise the collaboration and the special contribution that the sports have made. James and I are representative of the trust here today. Our purpose is to promote and support the development, governance, and strategic planning for the facility at Ngapunawai. Yes, it is more for sports use, but we also recognise it has a really broad and important community use, which we're really proud of. And as we have a role in the development of the park, we would like to talk to you about that today. And the Punawai is really unique. The collaboration of 5 sports on site, collaboration with the council, and the opportunities that it provides is really unique within the New Zealand sporting landscape. There isn't really another park that looks like this and has a trust that sits alongside council in its governance and development. We've been live since 2018 as all the sports came on board, and hopefully people in the room here have been and experienced some of the great things that happens at the park. I'm turn over to James, who's just going to give you a bit of outline about why we're here.
So like I said, just over there, this time last year when the Waipuna North was discussed, one of the things that came out of this meeting here was about the discussion around what the master plan would be moving forward for Waipuna. And that's something that as a trust we've been advocating for quite some time. The phase 2 master plan, as it was written, has certainly lost some of its sheen in terms of some of the developments that have happened sporadically on the park. So from that meeting, we went away and in partnership with Sport Canterbury, we actually engaged RSA Consulting, the original planners for the park, and we've done a review of the phase 2 master plan. And obviously we're not going to go through that in the next 1.5 minutes. But it's a sports-led review, including Sport Canterbury, the Trust, the Founding Sports, and also the council input as well from the council staff who use the park and work for the park each day. The 3 areas that came out of it were some infrastructure improvements, some sports enhancement initiatives, and some community enhancement projects. Back to you, Chair.
Yeah, back to me. So we've been having ongoing liaison with the Project City Council around the phase 2 master plan review. And there's about 20 recommendations that fit into those 3 broad categories. Really what we want to do today is just make you aware that the plan exists, and we want to ensure our future involvement in further development on the park, because in the past, unfortunately, we've been brought to the party late, and we do provide unique opportunity to engage, provide insight, and have great connection within our community. And so really, we just wanted to introduce ourselves and make you aware of the plan, and hopefully you don't get anything between in the next few months around further development at the park, but also to let you know we'd like to come back hopefully in around June and just give you a little bit of an insight into what's in the plan, and where we've got to with council liaison around what can be enacted and what needs to sit on the sidelines, or what perhaps might need some broader support in terms of further development.
Cool. You're done?
Yeah.
Thank you for your presentation. I have questions from Mark, Cody, and then Helen.
Pretty good. What are we involved in the planning of the Nixall Centre? Or is it one of those surprises?
That is a surprise.
Good to clarify.
Yeah, so we made a submission to the LGP at the time around the way that came about, and it wasn't in accordance with the collaboration and purpose that the other sports had come onto the park. And for some of the other sports, it is their home. They have no other venue, for example, rugby league and athletics.
Thank you. Cody.
Yeah, thank you for coming in to speak to actually get about the subject like that. The new intersection grid looks like it should be done soon. Must be exciting.
Yeah, we're very pleased about that. Yeah.
Particularly if the one North, once that's done as well, the accessibility through there is going to make a huge difference for the park and alleviate some of the traffic concerns as well.
Our biggest problem from day one was parking. The traffic management and ability for cars to flow is really important. So we're really looking forward to that.
All right. Thank you. Helen.
Yes, in terms of it's been used, it's used a lot. Do you have any sense of how long, when will it outgrow the numbers of people as Christchurch grows? Have you got any sense of that? Are you at full capacity now? Half capacity?
It's quite hard to say, because we have big events that come in and remove that area for the sports, which is a positive problem to have. I think we need to look at one of the things we advocate for is looking at the park as a whole. It's not just the park that's being developed. So as you know, it's a very big complex with Kappa.
Okay.
And I think there's probably some opportunity to more think about that as a bigger precinct. Okay.
All right. One more from Mark. You've got 20 seconds
A
left.
quick question. The elected or, is it something that you might have to advocate to try and?
That's in the plan.
That's in the plan.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's support you on that.
What about the front door, how do you do?
They could actually loop through the park, but the underpass doesn't really help with that, but it needs McMahon and.
Yes.
All right, just in, right in time, right in time. Thank you very much for your
Thank
presentation.
you.
All right,
Thank you very
thanks.
much.
See you in June.
Yeah, we'll look forward to that then. Thank you. So I've got next, Drusilla Kingy Patterson. She's not here. Is she here? No? No. Okay. Next we've got, Carrie Ewing, Director, will provide the board with an update regarding the services and support of Te Whare Awhero provides to the community. Welcome, Carrie.
Thank you.
And just a reminder, you've got 5 minutes, including questions and answers. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, board. I just wanted to come and to give a brief update on some of the things that we've got working on in 2026. Beginning with the Trust in Hornby, been around 36 years, a range of family, whānau and children centred support services across the community. This year, we're repeating our community needs survey. 5 years ago, we did our first. Between those who will be canvassing the local community and doing that through a range of different ways, including door knocking and online and through association and many different avenues that we'll be doing it throughout this year. And we'll look to present that publicly towards the end of the year. What we have found in terms of our local residents' perception of their needs, of the opportunities, of their concerns, of the things that they're excited about. The other thing we're really excited about is that yesterday we had our first Grow Hornby coordinator start in the role. That's a focus that we've had increasingly had around food security. That role will grow. Our backyard pop-up gardens that we've been developing for low-income farmers to be able to grow their own food. We'll be also working with Hornby High to build a community garden in the Hornby area out front and directly across the road from the library and the pool and school grounds. And working with them in the area out the back, which was a formerly old horticultural reading space to develop an urban farm. All of that will be centred around enabling our whānau that are struggling in the community to be able to access food and to be able to grow their own food and to have the skills to be able to be sustainable into the future. So we're really excited about that and acknowledge the support from the council, both from a one-off grant and just on the same day they're starting, actually, we heard back from Sustainable Canterbury as well. So we're really excited about the potential that will create. The last thing that I wanted to update you on, a special project that we've had running for the last three and a half years now, that has been coming alongside the most isolated whānau in our community, special partnership with Wilberforce School, who we're doing raft work. We're really excited that we've had Canterbury University on board as our long-term evaluation partner. They've just provided me with the draft of their second report that's looking in 2025 year. We'll be cleaning that up and releasing it by the end of the month. But the early indications from that were that teachers were seeing the children from these whānau being more present at school, that their behaviour was more consistent with being in the classroom, being able to learn and to be present. That the kids were reporting a happier, safer homes to be living in, which creates a stable environment which they can monitor from. And the parents were reporting back in this independent report that they were feeling more resilient and were able to cope with the significant life challenges that they face in themselves. So we're really excited about that feedback we're starting to see from that long-term support. And again, that is something that this board has supported in our funding applications in past years. So we both come to just report back on those things and to acknowledge and thank the board for its support in the work that we've done with the most vulnerable across our community. we'll continue with our mission of bringing hope, expanding horizons and realising potential.
Thank you, Kerry. I've got a question for Mark.
Thank you. Lovely. Question around Waipuna. We
Yeah.
had a submitter who came and spoke to the end of plan here, who was wanting to investigate community gardens and food security in Hornby.
Mhm.
Would you be happy for me to leave?
Yeah.
See if we can keep those dots?
Yep.
Awesome. And then the other thing, the planning for Hornby that's currently being engaged. Are you engaging in that with the planning thing?
No, I haven't done, but open to so.
Possibly worth taking a look at that online and looping in your thoughts and. That'd be good.
Right, thank you very much for that. And
No problem.
Cool.
Thank you.
great, that's right. Okay.
That's working.
It's working. All good? Yes, okay, so next up, I've got Claire Kelly, who will address the board regarding a proposal for interpretation panels in Wigram. Please come forward, Claire. And just a reminder again, just 5 minutes, please, including questions and answers. Timer will be up there. That's right. All right, great.
I have PowerPoint.
Yep, oh, you do, yes. Yep, sorry.
I'll get to them anyway. In 1916, Queensland Pilgrim down to the Canterbury Aviation Company, and that became the New Zealand government bought it in 1923 and the New Zealand Community Board. Around 1936, with war threatening in Europe, our government engaged British officer, Wing Commander Alfred Cochrane, to report on the requirements of the New Zealand Airport, and this became the blueprint for our NZAE. He, in turn, thought that the New Zealand Public Works Department put in hand immediately all necessary work to develop the Wigram Air Base, and this included housing for airmen, warrant officers, for sergeants. This was designed by New Zealand government architect Jason Weir.
Working?
Sorry, this is
Is it switched on?
Maybe it's the next.
okay. So just right. Okay, so this is an aerial of housing. In red are the innings houses, blue are the warrant officers and sergeants' houses. This is what which is now Quadrum Road. The innings houses were small and compact. They were an English cottage design with battened gable-ends, concrete tiles, etc. And they provided a specific colour scheme for each house so that they were differentiated so that everyone would be individual. These are the warrant officers and sergeants' houses, which were closer to the airbase and the hangars. And these were about 15 metres square bigger in keeping with the relative there at the top of Hicks. And even the baths were bigger, they were 6'2" rather than 5'9". So rank was important in all aspects of the design. The Women's Auxiliary Air Force had no home on the Waipuna base, so they occupied these houses during the war as well. There were also housing on what was Wigram Drive, now Wigram Drive for officers, and T6 and T7 up there with 2-story, the others single-story. The 2-story houses were arts and crafts design with step-approach concrete tile roofs and a number of really delightful architectural details, which I'm going to have to go through.
these were definitely designed for the rank of their occupants. And these are the single story offices houses, which were 50 metres square bigger than the Eamon's houses and even more elaborately detailed than those. We also designed the offices, number one offices Nef and offices Portrait in Architecture, and we're doing design. These offices are highly skilled design and they're listed with because these failed around 1942 when the Public Works Department had to put a pitched tile roof on it. So in 2025, the Christchurch District Plan Change 13 was finalised and recognised these as being a heritage area, and it's an area that deserves to be celebrated and conserved. So my request to the Waipuna Halswell-Hornby-Riccarton Community Board is that interpretation plans be designed and located in both the areas of the officers' housing and the Eamon's housing in Bushing Road. I've got twin triangles and if you can read it in approximate areas to be confirmed. I was involved in heritage restoration of the Mount State pillbox on the carpet that was on the right, and that's an example of what an interpretation panel is relative to that. I provided with historic information for that. So I believe these would help school groups, airports, museum walking tour groups, visitors and residents to understand and engage with the local heritage. And so I'm requesting the community board investigates and installing interpretation panels in the Waipuna residential heritage area.
Thank you, Claire. I think we've run out of time, but I'm happy for the board to put this through to staff for investigation and advice. Can I just please clarify the road names that we need that you're proposing to put the interpretation panels on? So is this which roads?
Corsair Drive.
So to be confirmed, because that will have to be done by consultation with traffic area management, etc. So the legal status, and also with parks because of the actual use of the land. There are a number of good opportunities. In essence, Henry Wickham Drive, as it intersects with Springs Road, offers a number of possibilities for placing the panel for the officers' housing.
Right.
Cauldron Road housing, I believe needs to be visible, the housing itself, and measurable in the third dimension where you place them. That will be partly debatable because you can actually see them also from Greek Place, which is running into it, and also on Springs Road. So I think there will be a number of issues that feed into that and probably to be finalised. I think to name up the roads there, if that helps.
Okay, so
Perhaps if we referred staff to panels to be erected in the vicinity of the former airmen's and officer housing areas of former, and we'll send through your plans and
with these your presentation. We'll send it through to the staff. Right. Okay. Great. Thanks.
Can I just quickly check? Are you talking with the Air Force Museum at all?
So this is like line link through private brief there. I'm in consultation both with the archives and also I'm keeping Prince David just with the first in terms of what I'm doing with the education of the clubs to that end. So yes.
I'll be happy to make sure you can just brief Archie director as well.
Yeah, I think if it agrees
Great. Okay, thank you. There.
Thank you.
Right. Cool. So now we move on to deputations by appointment, and we've got two deputations here. Just a reminder, this one you have 10 minutes for your deputations, including questions and answers. First up, we've got Terence and Carolyn Yang, who will address the board in relation to the bus stop upgrades in item 9 of today's agenda. Please come forward, Terence and Carolyn. Right.
Thank you for the opportunity to speak today. Page 42.
And we did send through a.
Yep.
a form
It's
to-
it's getting up now. Okay. That's it.
So Chrissy Lane is at the beginning of the arrow. We want to be really clear and we will support the installation of a bus shelter in Wicklow, but we do not support placing it in the current zone with proposed location. We believe it is the wrong site in the proceeding is planned with the missed opportunity for the community. Based on our observation, the majority of people using this stop for travelling to and from the Asian supermarket in the surrounding shops, which is approximately 100 metres to the west, which is at the end of the arrow. That is where the demand is, and placing a shelter anywhere else fails to reflect how the stop is actually being used. Relocating the bus stop closer to the commercial area would be more logical, effective, future focused decision. It would better serve the residents, support the local businesses and encourage greater use of public transport. There is also a clear and immediate issues at the current location. Our neighbours at 1 Killigan Close, which is just to the west of where the arrow starts, Susie and Tony Lemus, have already experienced repeated trespassing incidences requiring police involvement. Installing a shelter at this site is likely to intensify that problem. In addition, it would reduce visibility of vehicles reversing from their driveway, creating an unnecessary and avoidable safety risk. The site itself is constrained with limited space for pedestrians. Adding shelter will increase congestion on the footpath, particularly affecting children, cyclists and those with strollers. This is not a suitable environment for additional infrastructure. By comparison, the alternative location provides ample space, a safer layout, and the ability to accommodate future growth, with further retail development may be expected in near the health centre. The demand in the area will only increase. It's far more practical to position the shelter correctly now than incur a cost of disruption of relocating it later. We also note that this is the first bus shelter in Wigram, apparently, and that decision should be made carefully and placed where it will deliver the greatest benefit, not where the space is already limited and risks are already evident. For those reasons, we strongly urge the community board to reconsider the current proposal and relocate the bus stop closer to the shopping area where it aligns with the actual usage, safety considerations and future growth. Right now, we have the opportunity to get this right first time, and please don't lock in the decision that the community will get that slot. Be useful with consideration. But we do have other pictures.
Yeah.
So to the left hand side is where the current bus stop is, and 100 metres up the road is where the next picture is. Lots of space.
100 metres away from the last bus. No.
Cool. All right. Thank you for that, Carolyn and Terence. I've got a few questions from Cody, Tyler, and Helen. Cody, first.
Sorry, Cody.
Cody.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. So working with and different image which would show the speed which would look that you request, but not a traditional forward. One of the other suggestions was that the glasses that would be crossed over into the bed to provide some I guess privacy.
We probably need to talk to Sue and Tony because they're the ones that are most directly influenced. Oh, you know, that are
The people who live there.
live right there.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is more sorry.
How wide is it out?
When I've seen these, it's
It's like half a meter.
yeah,
Half meter.
it's about half a meter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cody, could you press to
I cannot, sorry, but it's a half width.
So I
basically.
think I have these
Yeah.
photos.
Oh, you do?
When the officer's speaking to it,
Yep.
Yeah.
close up.
Thank you. The other thing as well was they've given us two options for a location. Did you have a preference for either of those?
If it has to be where it is, it was option 1.
Just double check.
Yeah, so it's window.
So that would be in the middle,
No.
almost by number 1
Almost.
option.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's at the very front
Yeah.
of the bus stop.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Right, thank you, Cody. I've got Tyler and then Helen.
No, I'm good. Thank you.
You're good?
Yes.
Helen,
If you could place it anywhere, where would you place it? So the staff have got 2 options, but where, if you were going to put it somewhere,
If,
where,
if we weren't using the 2 options that we were given,
yes, but if you just,
if someone said, okay, where to put a bus stop, where would you put it? I think outside the, where the Asian supermarket is.
sorry, outside the,
Asian, so in the old hangar,
oh, yes,
yeah,
Yeah,
that's where the
makes
Asian
sense.
Asian supermarket is.
yeah,
It's this way,
yeah.
this way, that one's there, the other one's sort of down here. So it's kind of, they're not.
So, yeah, well, they're normally opposite,
Well, they're not.
aren't they?
Yeah.
They will help with the future development shopping area. And across from the old hangar is the control tower and their offices in there.
So is
Yeah.
the red area around the shopping centre, or that pinky red, is that landscape?
It's grass.
Oh,
And
grass?
so the
Yeah,
control tower.
Dead grass.
Grass, yeah, okay, thank you.
And bollards.
bollards, yeah, there's bollards.
Security side.
The other slide,
If you
further up shows.
Oh.
Keep going,
The red.
next one.
Oh, Tyler has a question now.
It's just quickly saving for staff to prepare are the bollards within our road reserve or are they within the private property?
Stuff.
Yeah.
All right,
So here.
okay, that's
Right.
all good, thank you.
Thank you.
That's right.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Marie?
Right, and,
So are we able to maybe change the agenda around to bring the bus stop decisions forward? Would that be possible?
we've got staff on Zoom, so it's not going to take.
We have
Okay.
more deputation.
And we've got one more deputation.
Thank you.
Great. Yes, so we've got Colin Stokes on item 8 on the proposed road names of 80 George Table Street. Can you please come forward, Colin, and welcome.
And for the TV there, I'll just hand these up. Okay.
Haven't seen you in a long time.
No, you haven't told me. Nice to see you again.
The old days,
Yes, it hasn't gone away.
hasn't gone away.
We wish it had.
Thank you. Hi, Colin.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm just here to give an update to those that know about this road and those that fresh and don't. The road before you to be named, it's a consent required road from 2019 builder's consent. It would require the requirement of the council to enforce that on the consent holder. That front page there you've got there, that's the overall development plan for the subdivision. The road you're looking to name is part of this road that runs through here. You'll see it's an L-shaped road through there.
Okay,
That's road lot 612 of the consent. And you'll see below that plan there, that's condition 5 of the consent. The new roads being lot 600 to 615 out of the form invested in the council. That hasn't happened. We've tried to get the council to enforce it and they've refused to do so. The very background of the consent is that there was 10 original landowners in there which owned all of the land within the consent. In consideration for the original landowners giving 80% of their land up for the consent, They did so for the consideration that the access lot that we'll use was a condition of the consent to be formed and vested at the council, and for the council to obviously enforce that as per the statutory requirements. That road has never been enforced. So that has been a problem. The original landowners have tried to undertake the obligations of the consent holder themselves, but have been prevented from doing so because the council didn't provide the stormwater or didn't enforce the provision of stormwater to enable the road to be built. The pipes were too small under the roads, they didn't connect and extend through to that road. It ended up they had lots of different variations. One of them was to put stormwater basins to the very west, where the consent required them to the east, which is downslope. The west was upslope, about 2 metres, and it was never possible for the roads to drain that direction of the stormwater basins. They would have been 2.7 metres below ground level to slope in that direction. The council said, well, that's the problem of the original landowners. And we said, well, actually, council, you consented it, not us. It's not our problem. Anyway, we've been fighting this for nearly a decade and a half. As a result of this, the original landowners, the 20% of the land we retained is the land each side of this consent required road, lot 612, so that's up and down of this leg, and to the west of the north-south access. This access used to go all the way to Yoldhurst Road, which is how we all accessed our land in the first place. We had sole access rights to Yoldhurst Road, which the consent couldn't go ahead without cutting us off. We also had covenants over all of the land that prevented any other roads in the subdivision consent being vested until our road vested at the same time, because the covenant over the land prevented the roads from vesting. What staff did, they went to the council laws and said to council laws, well, we can't vest these roads, we want you to actually vote to dedicate the roads.
Oh, that's right.
Because under the RMA, you could dedicate roads to the council but not vest them. So they departed from the subdivision consent requiring vesting, and subsequently they cheated us of our legal registered protection over the land. As a result of that, they allowed the consent holder to extort us of a lot of money because we had been defending the covenant in court proceedings. The covenants became irrelevant when the council was voted to dedicate the roads. So that required us to give money and land up to the consent holder, including the part of our access lot that connected to Yoldhurst Road, which took away our sole access rights and gave that to the developer as well. Because we haven't been able to subdivide our land, because of the non-enforcement of that road, it means we've been stuck with landholding costs, unable to get on with our lives, people dying through stress, such that people now have to sell their land because they can't develop it. And who are they selling it to? The first lots here, 1, 2, 3, they're having to sell their land to the consent holder who's failed to build the road that's allowed them to develop the land themselves. So that's what's happened there. So what the consent holder is now doing, the consent requires them to build all of the road in one stage. What they're doing now is saying, we just want to build part of road lot 612 that joins these lots 1, 2, 3 that they've enticed off those neighbours who can't develop themselves. So they just want to build part of it now. That way we still can't build our road and can't subdivide. Now, some of the neighbours, I was one of them at one stage, trying to build their road ourselves, taking on the obligations ourselves. We couldn't do it because of the stormwater. Council wouldn't enforce that. Some current original landowners are still trying to build that road now, and that's the road that's in front of you. They're trying to do part of the east-west leg of it. You'll see in the plan that's in front of you there, that's what they're trying to build. Now, if you can look at that road there, to the left-hand side, you'll see it goes narrow as it goes right to the very end. That's because they're not proposing to build the road all the way to the end. At the end of the road is 7 hectares of land owned by the consent holder Infinity. Now, the original landowners may not be able to build the road that's in front of you because the consent holders require them to sign a deed with them, which I've got here. I haven't got, I'll just pass some, perhaps a couple of copies down each side to have a look at. But you'll see in the road deed between the consent holder and the neighbours trying to build the road, they're saying that they can oppose the road if they don't build it all the way to the very end to connect their 7 hectares. So that road that's in front of you, the people trying to name the road and build it may not actually be able to build that yet. And even if they did build it to the end, the consent holder will still have other ways and means to prevent them doing it. Obviously, if they prevent them building that road there, it means other owners like myself can't subdivide our land, and therefore that makes our land vulnerable to having to be sold too. One of the 3 owners of the land I'm involved with there died, young at 57, probably through the stress. His trust now wants to sell our land and is trying to force the sale of the land that I'm part of. So I'm risking losing the value of my land, having to sell it probably to the consent holder, because he's the only one, he controls the ability for it to be subdivided.
Can I just cut you off there for a while?
Sure.
Your deputation is on item number 8 on the proposed road names.
Yes, so this is
But
on the naming of that road, yes.
So, right, but you're saying here that the issue is not what to name the east-west part of road lot 612 in its varied form?
Yes, I'm saying that the issue really is not what to name the road. The issue is actually whether the road's going to be form invested in the first place. Because as I've said, the council's refused to enforce it on the consent holder. The consent holder is holding their muscle over the people trying to build that road you're looking to name. And if you look at the deed I passed down there, it's at number 4. You'll see that it's about whether Infinity will oppose them or not doing it. And it says that they wouldn't. And then in brackets, it provided any road vesting is completed for but lot 21, which is at the very end. So they're basically saying that road's in front of you, they can or will oppose it being built.
Right.
And the council won't enforce it on them. So it leaves us in the same situation as the 3 owners that have been forced to sell their land to the consent holder.
Okay, thank you. I will just get our staff to respond later on when the report comes through. In the meantime, we've got last 30 seconds. I'll get.
I wonder if I could move an extension.
Now, this is a deputation. You do not have the right to move. We've got Tyler. We've got a question.
Sorry, Colin, how you going? Sorry, I'm one of the new ones.
Yep.
So I'm just trying to contextualize everything that was said. So please correct me if I'm wrong. So you're the neighbour of this subdivision in Yoldhurst?
I own land within the subdivision.
Within the subdivision
itself, yes,
Okay.
on a stage of the subdivision.
Alongside a trust with 3 other property owners or 2 and yourself?
There's me and 2 others that own the property that I'm part of. I'm one of 10 original owners, so we're.
And now the consent holder is trying to extend their subdivision, and by building some more roads, it's actually forcing you to try and sell, is it?
No, that's not the case at all. No, the consent holder is trying to not develop their subdivision.
Okay.
Road lot 612, which is the road that adjoins all of us original landowners, which is a requirement of the consent to enable us to subdivide our individual land parcels alongside it. But we had originally 4 hectare blocks. We gave up 3 under rural, used to be rural, so it was rezoned to residential. We gave up 3.2 hectares of land, retained 0.8 hectares with our houses on, with the ability then to subdivide the remaining of that 8,000 square metres around our house. And we gave up that 3.2 hectares for that access lot to be formed and vested as a road as a condition of the consent on the consent.
It's so funny. I heard about this before I even got elected. Yeah.
And
it's been going on for the years I've been on as well, Tyler.
I'm just trying to think of on how that's going to work with staff. We can ask them at the time, obviously, around how within order it is. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate then providing context. So I might ask some questions offline.
Sure, no, absolutely, I'd love to, yeah, I don't know.
No, Mark's got it, but yeah.
I don't know if the community board's aware or even the elected council for that. I know some of them are, but the matter's actually currently before the court now.
Yeah,
Because of the-
then we can't be involved in, yeah.
Yeah, well, can
Right.
because it's fair.
Okay, I think we need to move on now, but thank you, Colin, for your deputation, and we'll just if you can stay around when the report comes.
Can I clarify why I can't move in extension?
It's not an option, Helen, it's the discretion of the chair. I even gave, it's already passed, I gave
Well,
extension already.
I'm happy to remain around afterwards, Helen, if you'd
yeah,
like to
there's a
discuss.
kind of
Anybody can-
there's a huge amount of terrible stuff.
Lay it on the table
Yeah,
if we're not
Lay it on the
satisfied.
table, yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy to
Was that-
stay around.
Thank you, Colin.
Thank you very much.
Right.
for the chance.
We're not getting a.
Right,
No.
we now move on to presentation of petitions, and there was no petition at this time. And so now we move on to staff reports. We start on with item number 7 on 42 Roberts Road, Islington. Sean,
Yeah,
we've got Sean
yeah.
on
Super.
Zoom. I have a question. Anybody else has any questions?
You got to move and second it.
Right,
Mover and seconder.
yeah,
What's
hang
the
on.
question?
Sean.
Hello, sorry, I am here.
Yes, hi, Sean.
Hello.
You do have all these road names about old the veterans. And I know this was proposed by, the names were proposed by the developer.
Yes,
My question is, does the developer, do we know if the developer have consulted the families of the persons who are being named, the roads named after? Because if I was a family, it was my ancestor who's the road is being named after, would I be informed about it?
okay, I can't answer that off the top of my head, Marie. I'll,
So do we not consult the family members?
Did you not ask that
Good question.
before the meeting?
You did.
No, didn't come through.
Yeah.
It's never been.
So we do not know whether the developers also consulted with the family members of these.
it's not in the report, is it? So I'll have to have a look at the file and give you an answer on that.
Are you suggesting to lay it on the table? Mark?
No. I was just, you know, if it's your ancestor being named, a road is being named after your ancestor, would you be informed about it? You don't know anything about it. So I was just wondering whether the families were informed.
Could be difficult to do it, Rachel.
Well, how did they come across with these names?
That's fair. Yeah.
You know?
I think it's, I'm with Marie.
But they're from 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe-
Yeah, but the families now, because
It's
it's
if you
like
track
my.
it down.
But how many?
And if they didn't like them and, you know, that personal choice.
There's always a risk. Yeah, there is always a
And I think generally they the developer just does some historical research and pulls names. I don't think I wouldn't read into it that they do too much in the way of.
Right.
They couldn't. There's so many roads too.
Right. Anyway, no other questions? I mean, I was just curious. Was just, yeah. All right, moved by Mark and seconded by Debbie. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried.
Yay.
Thank you. Move on to number 80 George Noble Road. So Sean, take it away.
Yep. You've all got the report. Take it.
Please.
Sean Ward.
Sean Ward.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got a question, Sean.
Yes.
This long-standing issue going back since when I was on council.
Yeah.
2010 to 2013. You were the planner involved then, weren't you?
Yes, I was. Yeah, I've been involved in and out over about 15
Over
years, probably. Yeah.
If we decide, because a lot of people here don't know the history of this, which was very, very negative, and there's barristers involved in court action on a number of sort of occasions. And I remember moving a resolution to get a private sector lawyer in, which we did. If we left it on the table for a further meeting, is that a problem?
I'm not sure where that, so the way that it sits, where it sits at the moment is that the road naming application here has been made by one of Mr. Stokes's neighbours along that east-west leg. They have gained a variation to the subdivision consent to divide the land in the way that it's shown on the scheme plan that's attached to the report. And they have gained engineering approval to the construction of the road. And so they are proposing to continue the development and create and invest the road in council. So if you leave it on the table, it may be that that's because they can't make any application for a Section 223 certificate without having a road name decision. And I don't know where they're at in terms of that process. I'm not aware that they've completed the survey work for all the lots shown on the plan.
Okay.
So I don't know. It may cause them an impact. It may not. I don't know.
Okay. Are you aware of this further court action on this?
Yes, I am. Yes. Yep.
Right.
So my own council's been drawn into that. Mr. Stokes has named council as a I can't remember the legal term, but anyway, the council's been drawn into that, and that's legal action about the severing of that. Well, it's a court action about the severing of that, the right of way, the L-shaped right of way into two pieces, a north-south and an east-west piece.
Okay. So I guess no, I've got enough answers there. Thank you.
Thank you, Helen. I've got Mark, Cody, and Tyler. Mark, please.
Thank you. I was surprised that the report made no mention of the history of this lot. Is that an intention or was it mistakenly left out?
No, I mean, the history is the history, but this is just an application to name the road in terms of the layout that's been approved by the latest variation and pursued by the landowners along the driveway.
And has Mr. Stokes been consulted and have you gained his approval of this?
No, we haven't, staff haven't, the council hasn't consulted Mr. Stokes as he's one of the landowners in the area that's subject to that scheme plan version. And there's a list of names of owners in the road naming application, and I supplied that to Faye. I don't know whether you guys have seen that. Mr. Stokes, so everyone signed that. Well, not everyone. The majority of the owners have signed that. Mr. Stokes hasn't. One of his co-owners, Mr. Smith, hasn't either. I don't know what the conversation has been between the parties who are trying to advance the subdivision of the land and Mr. Stokes. I'm not party to any of that.
Right. And so we don't know whether the parties have consulted or gained the approval of Mr. Stokes?
No.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. I've got Cody, Tyler, and then Debbie.
Thank you. Is the company that's applied for this street naming, is that Lindev Properties?
Yes, yeah, their names on they're the ones who made the application for the variation. So it's one of the owners of the land along that east-west leg.
Okay, and can you just help me understand the 2025 consent?
2025 consent? Is it, I'm not sure what you're looking at. Are you looking at the plan?
I mean, yeah, the plan came from that 2025 consent.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
various terms of subdivision consent.
To the 2007/1846/F plan.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
the
that
one
variation, that's a varied plan from the original subdivision. It's gone through a number of variations over the intervening long period of time. This variation was put up by Lindneve, who is Stu Lindsay, and some of an agreement, is my understanding, with some of the other owners along there. I don't know whether Mr. Stokes is involved in that.
Yeah, so I guess the question that I'd have with this is the applicant being Lindev, can they apply on Mr. Stokes' behalf sort of without his input to subdivide? Or would he have had to have been a participant in that?
They can apply without his agreement to subdivide. Anyone can apply for a resource consent or a subdivision consent over any land. You don't have to own it. You can't give effect to it without the people who own it.
Okay.
But you can seek and gain a consent. And that's the situation for any land anywhere.
Yes, we would normally name roads, I guess. I'm just trying to understand if we...
Usually you would have a developer who owns all of the land, who's subdividing it and building a road as part of that subdivision and naming that road.
Yeah.
And so when Sir John Mackenzie Ave that you can see out on the right-hand side of that plan, there's a little spur coming off Sir John Mackenzie Ave. That didn't get a name at the time that Sir John Mackenzie Ave and other roads in that part of the subdivision got named, because that was, I guess that was stopped in part by Mr. Stokes and some of the other owners along there in terms of action with the community board to avoid that having a road name. So it has no road name.
Yeah,
so ideally, ordinarily, that stub would have had a name, and that name would have simply carried along this road here.
But there were reasons for that, wasn't there?
Yes, I guess my last question, thank you, is when I check LINs, it appears that we've already actually named this road.
No, it's not a road. There's no road there at this time.
No, there is a road there.
No, it's a private driveway.
Okay, but
it's not a legal road.
Oh, that's right.
If we check LINS, it is a road.
Yes. Someone's fudged it.
So someone's actually put that in.
No, what happened, because and Mr. Stokes talked earlier about the closure of the access onto Yoldhurst Road. That was when the main intersection of Sir John Mackenzie Ave with Yoldhurst Road opened. And because there was a refusal to have that road stub off Sir John Mackenzie named and an adequate point to take addressing from, because you could no longer have Yoldhurst Road addresses that you used to have because you didn't take any access off Yoldhurst Road. So so all of the properties then along this access leg were named off George Noble Road, which is at the northern end of that access.
Okay.
Because that was where we had to take an addressing point from. So it wasn't a road naming; it was simply addressing.
Okay, so
not entirely the same thing.
Thank you, and I appreciate that's an important distinction. So given that, if we were not to approve this, would you not then do the same thing?
Well, nothing would change except that you have a road that's proposed to be vested by the subdivider here, or the subdividers here, and it doesn't have a name. And it can't vest without a name. So the addressing would remain George Noble Road, but unless you wanted to call this George Noble Road as a road to vest,
okay, thank you.
there wouldn't be a lot of use in retaining the George Noble Road addressing.
Okay, thank you, Cody. No more questions, Cody?
No, thank you.
I've got Tyler, Debbie, and then Mark. Tyler, go ahead, please.
Good, mate. How you going?
Good, Tyler. Thank you. How are you?
Good. Hey, I'm just trying to gain some context here. Did you hear the deputation that was spoken
Yes, I
before?
did. Yep.
Okay. And I'm just trying to think of what is in order and what isn't, and seeing what powers the board have. And I'm just still not clear on it. And I understand the RMA and obviously our planning stuff, but I'm not clear on road namings. And from what Cody was saying, he was saying that even if we didn't name the road, it would just be called George Noble Road, and they'll just move forward. Is that correct?
No, this road shown on here is lot 612, the olive coloured road. It cannot vest as a road unless it gets a name.
Oh.
And George Noble Road is already in existence to the north, and it will be separated by the light blue strip, lots 802 and 803 on the right-hand side of that plan.
I see it.
So the party who's now reached a deal with Carter and O'Malley and Co. along that light blue strip, they will be wanting to vest a road over some of that land to service their development as well. I don't know whether they want to continue George Noble Road, which they probably could do. It would just come around a corner and continue into their development, or they want to use a new road name. I guess we'll find that out at the time they seek to do that.
Okay. I'm just trying to do my best to gain clarity over this.
I understand there's a very long history, and there's a lot of complication in there.
So the real question mark I've got within my head at the moment is, are we making the right decision to say yes to this road naming right now, or can we hold off until next month to gain more clarity? And what are the effects upon that? What would happen if we did end up tabling this item today? And moved it to next month?
Then I just go back to Stu Lindsay and his co-applicants and say the board's left it on the table till next month. There's no decision on the road name.
Okay, in regards to the 223, that was...
Look, I don't know where they are in that process, but you wouldn't apply for it. You'll notice on the plan that there's a number of substages in here.
Yep.
So in order to give effect to any of those substages, you're going to need some part of this road. So it's unlikely that they've done all that survey work yet to set out all the allotments.
Is this road built yet? Okay.
No, I don't think it's built yet. No.
Okay.
Thanks, Sean. I was just being advised that if we are going to lay something on the table, it's for something, for investigation, for being looked into, not just being lay on the table and do nothing.
But we can lay it on the table and have a further discussion on it.
This is what I was about to talk about, Joe.
Well, in regards
To get together and have a discussion on this.
and in regards to the,
Outside.
we could
Can't do that outside the meeting is the advice.
No,
We can.
we can do this at the time we're moving a resolution.
But can I have my
yes,
question?
we've done it before, Marie.
Can I have my question?
We'll have Debbie, then Mark. and
Faye,
then
would you like me to
Helen.
get something up?
Hang on.
We'll
Can we
get-
Right.
Who are we
Finish the
speaking to,
questions. Debbie,
please?
go ahead, please.
Who am I speaking to again?
John Ward.
Thanks, Sean. Do you agree that, well, you did mention before, that this is huge history in this case? agree?
There's a long backstory, yes.
Yeah. And do you agree that our board haven't been completely in the loop about this?
Some of you probably, some of you because you're new won't have had the history. Whether or not all of that history relates to the naming of the road that's on that plan, I don't know. But
well, I don't know whether you were, when we had a peeps meeting with our solicitors, we weren't even allowed to ask questions. So I don't know if you were there. And so
no, I'm not sure what's that. I'm not sure what that meeting was.
Well, Helen remembers.
I remember.
And the thing is that, and Mike in the background will remember, we weren't allowed to ask questions, and that's why we left it on the table, because our questions were not being asked to our satisfaction for the legality of the naming of this road because of other consequential effects.
Is this question there?
So, I'm assuming that that's perhaps what the feel might be, that we are wanting the clarity because clarity was never offered in the first place 9 years ago.
Was there a question for Sean?
Yes. Sean, do you perhaps agree that this is why we might wish to lay it on the table because the board is not fully clarified?
I don't know if that's a question for me.
To answer.
Okay, well then it's not a question.
Okay,
I'm
I've
just
got
saying
Mark
we didn't have all the
then
information.
Helen and then Cody. Mark, Helen, and then Cody.
Okay, so am I right in understanding that this road is not constructed physically as yet?
That's right, yeah.
Yep.
It's a driveway.
And is the road needing to be constructed physically before a 223 certificate is thought and issued?
It needs to be constructed physically before the 224 is issued.
Right.
So the 224 is when you satisfied all the conditions in terms of construction or, pipes and roads and all of that stuff. The 223 is where they've done the survey and created the survey plan, but you're not necessarily finished all the physical work at that time.
Right. So you wouldn't have to have the road physically constructed to get the 223. So it might be worth us laying on the table to get further clarification around where the status of the 223 application is at.
And can we please have that meeting with Colin Stokes?
And with that, a further workshop.
Have a workshop.
We've
Colin
always
can
been excluded and we've always wanted around the table.
You're just hearing questions.
So
Mark?
I'm asking, is
Yes.
it worth us laying on the table, seeking further clarity around the status of the Section 223 certification
And have around the
and
table.
potentially have a workshop to work that through with the board.
Can I just ask you what you're seeking to understand there? Because it's simple enough to ask the question of the surveyor involved about the work that's been completed to date in terms of any survey work and how far away they are from making an application for 223, and I could do that quite easily.
Yep, and so that you couldn't do that tonight in the meeting, though, I'm sure.
No, it's too many
No, probably not.
So that would be my proposal, is that we lay this on the table to seek that further clarification about the status of 223.
And also the court action.
Right. I've got, Mark, are you done with your questions? I've got Helen, Cody, and then Sarah, and then I think we'll something.
Sean, it seems to be very early in the piece to be asking for road names.
No, we give advice to consent holders that they should do that sooner rather than later, because we don't want them to be in a situation where they are ready to get. Often they will get a 223 and a 224 certificate at the same time, so they've done all the work, physical work, and they're wanting to move on and get titles. So we don't want them to get bound up and have things lay on the table or rolled over for several months.
I don't think I've ever seen a road naming where they haven't started the work. So, I mean, it seems to me unusual. Going back to the developer who doesn't want to develop, that is Infinity, isn't it? That second developer. And then we had a first one. Can you remind me who the first one was?
Noble Investments was the first one.
Yes,
and then it was Infinity.
Infinity, and then it's gone now to, at this stage, to three neighbours basically.
No, that's another piece of land that's to the north of the plan, and so those neighbours have sold land. Well, I don't know whether they've sold it yet. My understanding is they've got an agreement with Infinity about that land.
Okay, and
that land to the north wasn't originally part of the subdivision consent. It is not part of the subdivision consent. It's separate land.
Okay, and the legal case, which has been alluded to, is council part of that? I think you said.
Yes, we've been pulled into that. That was originally a court proceeding to try, my understanding anyway, a court proceeding to try and partition this driveway into two pieces so that Infinity can deal with the piece to the north, and this leg is left to the owners of the land who've got the application here in front of you.
Okay, so in there's many ways, this is not a simple issue, is it? No. Sean, I suppose you agree with that. It's not simple.
Well, the question today is just about naming the road, so that's quite straightforward. The background's not straightforward, I give you that.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Okay, after Helen, we've got Cody and then Sarah, and then we've got a suggested resolution.
Sure.
Or you still got a question?
Yeah,
I've got
a question.
Okay, so I've got Cody, Sarah, and then Tyler. And then we've got a suggested resolution.
Yep, thank you. I was down there earlier today. In fact, I actually went and checked out all of the lots, including the road lot and the proposed utility lot as well. Where's the suggestion come from that the road is not formed?
It's not formed to the design standards.
There's a driveway there that's formed.
There's a driveway.
Okay, so it's not at our standards to be vested.
No,
it's not.
It's a rough driveway.
Yeah, it's
a channel.
It needs upgrading, significant upgrading. Yep.
Okay.
Which is where the problem lies.
Okay. And I guess the second thing, so ordinarily for most reports, I know it's not standard practice for road naming, we would get legal advice. Is that something that we could get for this? I just thought it would have been relevant given that there's currently some proceedings.
Well, we've had it, but our past lawyer passed away, past councillor.
Road naming won't need legal advice, but the process that's come up to it may, particularly around the way that we're making decisions, may require legal intervention.
Another site visit.
Because noting that we are voting on road naming
Correct.
Like we're utilizing historical context to inform that decision.
Yes.
And that's where the legal parts come in,
Mm.
because it doesn't require legal for road
Can I
mapping. Does that make
just
sense?
check with Sean if you have a response to that?
I mean, you can seek. Are you asking me whether you should seek legal advice or you can seek legal advice? I guess you can.
Well, I guess the question was, why did we not get legal advice? Most reports either say that it has a standard template legal approval, you know, they always do it in this format. This actually didn't specify at all.
You mean this time around?
Yeah.
Or the fact that it's going to court too.
Yeah, I mean,
It's not the road naming.
yeah.
I think this road name was in standard format.
Yeah, because they would have.
It looks like a simple issue, doesn't it, on the surface?
Well, I mean, the road naming itself is simple, but I don't want to create an issue.
Yes.
And I don't know that the ongoing action, I don't know about that.
Perhaps a group.
So we just
visit
move on
out.
to Sarah and then Tyler, and then we've got
My question's been answered.
okay, yes. All right, Tyler.
We actually should have like someone like John or something here. John Phil's still here.
We've got Bailey.
Probably for Bailey, actually. So the thing I'm worried about is, particularly in regards to good governance, is we're adding something that is seemed to not be within the range of a road naming report. However, there's been historical context that's come through the deputation, which obviously complicates our decision-making capabilities to be able to vote on this, because we cannot ignore the public deputation. How do we move forward from this? In order,
Well, yeah, that's a
the
decision
question
the
is around
board
the
has to
wording
make,
of the laying on the table.
which I think Faye
We've got
has
the
drafted
suggested
up after hearing what you've had to say. The information that you need to make a decision on the road naming as per the normal process
Yep.
is in the report.
That's what I mean.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's the thing I'm worried about.
It's all right, it'll still come back, but
If the board chooses to lay it on the table because it wants more information, we need to know what that is that you're asking for.
Okay.
And I.
And
Something
so,
so
yeah,
Faye has
so-
that, but so that's a decision.
I'm not
Faye.
just touching this.
Interpreting heard around the table.
There's no way.
I'm suggesting something along the lines of that the board has agreed to lay the report on the table to seek clarification on the position with a section 223 certificate and further background.
And I want information on the current legal case.
We can't do that.
You can say who it's between, who the parties are.
We just need the background information.
I could
we
ring-
don't
I
know
could
anything
contact
about.
Sean Rainey and get it overnight. I'm asking you as the board to get
It's not a live case.
information on the legal case at present before the courts. They can just say who
It's
the
all
parties
relevant.
are.
It's actually all relevant.
Well,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, it's relevant.
Like if my
It's
recommendation,
not up to, it's up to us to decide if it's relevant. If we feel as a board it's relevant.
Not for the road.
It's not up to the board advisors.
I think for the road.
Yeah,
naming,
I
cover.
think
I'm adamant about that. I want information on the legal case as much as can be given.
Joseph.
Can we also just seek some clarification on what's relevant considerations and what's irrelevant considerations for this sort of report?
Yeah.
Well,
We need to have assurance that we're not going to jeopardize things that have happened in the past.
Well, we are going to. They'll only give us what's open.
Or something.
We need to name no road in the first place.
No, you need to.
Yeah.
We need to help.
Because they wouldn't give us the information.
Also, Faye's put.
I know, it's all, this is the same.
There's something else that needs to be added. The board
Right.
needs to
Joseph, I don't.
agree on that.
Right, so Faye has just this draft wording, so we'll just finish up with this and then we'll see what other information you'd like to add or wording you'd like to add, Tyler.
but I think that was good. The broader the better. In regards to information that we're looking for, that provides staff ample information to be able to provide something in a broad term. The staff have garnered enough context to be able to provide that information. If we get into the nuts and bolts, then it restricts staff from providing us the information that we've asked
But
for.
they've never allowed a round table with Colin at all, which is why our board wanted a fair and reasonable round the table discussion. And by having only staff only gave their perspective, So it wasn't an open perspective, and we were told not to ask any more questions
Which is regarding 2010 to 2013, correct?
around there.
Yeah. Okay.
So we've got suggested wording, the draft
So
wording.
it's taken what I said before about the board, this is taking Mark's words initially. Agreed to lay the report on the table to seek clarification on the position with the section 223 certificate. And for legal advice to be provided on the relevant considerations for a road naming report.
No, I want legal advice on the current case.
You can't do that.
We've done it before.
Well, we'll just ask Colin for it.
We're witnesses in the case. We can't do that.
Council is involved in the.
But we need to be fully informed.
We just need to know, so is taking so-and-so to court and council's been.
We can't have half the information.
You can give some play. They do it.
Helen, it's not relevant to the road naming. If you have a request for information, we can do that separately with the request for information process.
Before the court. It might be relevant or it might not.
Helen, it may be included in this if we're asking for legal advice.
No,
on what's the relevant consideration.
No, I'm on.
Advice might
We've been told about the legal case.
I want if she has a request
The legal
information
case.
separate.
You can,
It can be a paragraph only.
Helen, you can probably just
Why not?
Just
Everyone.
get it from Lagoima request.
What?
You can get it from Lagoima request. I think it's not for the board to ask for this.
The board might want this, not just me.
That wording covers the legal relevance for road naming, which is what we need to consider for this report.
The
But I
report
think
is
we
only
need-
for road naming.
We have a case before the court. We need to understand what the basis is. I can't approve anything if I don't know the basis of this legal.
That's got nothing to do with the road naming.
It might.
It has in this
It
case.
might.
Are we in a position to move?
It's been brought up. But I've asked for this before.
Are
There's
you
no reason it can't be given.
Right.
We do need a mover and second. Do you want me to read the words again?
Yes.
Yes, please. So we are going to read the draft wording and we will need movers and seconders for this. And
The
we'll-
board agreed to lay the report on the table to seek clarification on the position with the section 223 certificate. Do I need to say in there, Sean, for lane 2?
Road 1.
Lane 1, sorry.
Road 1.
Road one.
No, because the 223 certificate's not just for the road, it's
Okay,
for,
okay.
so just say the
through
223, it's fine.
Section 223 certificate, and for legal advice to be obtained on the relevant considerations for a road naming report decision.
And I'm going to add, I'm going to move, but I can move it formally once we go to debate. And I want some information on the legal case currently before the court.
Can we have that round?
Because it may affect
Colin,
our
that we've been in
naming.
it. Can we have that round table with Colin?
I'm only wanting
Yes.
For this wording, do we have a mover and seconder?
Happy to say.
Could we possibly add in there and a workshop with board regarding this information?
And Colin.
With Colin.
Because we've never
Colin
had
can
it in
attend.
9 years.
Yeah.
We've never had it.
Yeah.
So there's something that's being withheld.
Yeah, we need that.
Is that relevant to the road naming?
Well, it is.
Workshop on these matters.
And a workshop is around this.
And until we hear the other side,
Yes.
as a jury, we're not going to be fully informed.
Not jury.
Not a jury.
Well, we're making a decision.
Not a jury.
So we're gonna
So
Right.
no, but we're
Yeah,
making-
can we
fully
hold off for a while? We'll go into debating.
No, I definitely want my.
But we'll just writing the draft.
And the legal case. I can't make it.
Hang on, I can't, everybody,
Helen.
could you please stop, Helen, stop,
No.
stop, please.
Well, I'm
Stop,
asking
please.
for something and Faye wants.
We can't talk while you're talking
Well,
at the same
then let's
time.
do it now then.
No, not yet, we're still talking.
And information on the legal case.
Helen, I said
before
stop,
the
please.
Well,
Well, Helen,
how do we do it then?
stop, please. We are trying to work this out first. I will come back to you.
Okay, because I won't vote for
I
that.
mean-
It's not there.
It's okay.
It's crazy.
So if what are you asking for a board workshop, what's the workshop going to be on?
Well, we want to
No, we
round
don't
the
really
table
have
with
this
Colin, which we've never,
They're wanting to look at.
we never had,
No.
so that we can have our questions answered from both sides.
Mark.
Well, I'm going to move it formally. It's not written in now. I'll move it. And if
It's a really good recommendation. It'll cover everything.
I'm
What,
sorry.
the lad on the table.
Yeah.
lay on the
Mark could
table
easily push a procedural and just vote.
for a workshop.
Okay, let's push that through.
What?
If that's what's in order. Right.
Lay it on the table.
You lay it on the table, seeking that further section 223 clarification
And legal
and the
advice.
legal information regarding to the road naming
And
and hold a workshop.
And a workshop.
On these
What about
matters.
information?
An open
That's
workshop.
great. Great.
Is an open workshop.
And for the board to hold a workshop.
To receive them, to receive the information, the vocabulary, I think Mark's moving there. All right, so we just need the final wording then.
Okay, so we'll, we'll go again.
And can I have now, Marie, I want and some information.
No, we are going to just,
No,
move and second first.
no.
Please.
All right, I'll move it.
During the
Yeah,
meeting.
let's just vote on Helen's additional.
You can vote on
We'll
it.
vote on that first,
Okay,
and then.
If you
we'll vote
don't
on
want to
that.
put it in, I've never had this before. I think it's outrageous. I'm only asking information that's legally available on
Okay.
that legal case.
all right, so
It
we
may
will
impact
vote
on
on your addition. We will vote on your addition. Okay.
Well, I'll get it anyway. I can go down the court myself and look for it. It's crazy. Why don't you just ask them?
Because they don't ask.
They don't want to.
You know.
Do you want to?
Because it's not within, it's not within the bounds.
We could ask for the old legal cases.
We'll do.
So-
No, we need to have, if she's moving, it's an amendment. We
Yeah.
need Mark's one to move, then Helen can move an amendment.
Yeah.
If he gets a second,
Yeah.
then we'll go along.
So this is Helen, what's happening. We will vote on
No.
move on
We'll see if we get a mover and a seconder for this.
for Mark's one, and then we'll do yours as an amendment.
Helen or anybody else can move an amendment to that. And if
What's your
that's
amendment?
seconded, then we vote
Why
on
don't we just
it.
so it's not going to harm anything.
If you're so confident the board will vote for it, then put your amendment in.
Mine
It's fine.
is an amendment.
Oh, we'll do Mark's first.
Yep, Mark's has got the legal terms in a broad
Right.
term.
Um,
Absolutely.
This is outrageous.
Agreed to lay the report on the table to seek clarification on the position with the section 223 certificate and for legal advice to be obtained on the relevant considerations for a road naming report decision and for the board to hold a workshop to receive the information.
And we've
That's
got
what I've got.
a mover is
Can we-
Mark, seconded by Cody.
Can we add,
And then
I'm going to make an
Amendments.
amendment.
can we add
Okay,
specifically due to
wait.
historical?
another amendment. That'll be another
Can we
amendment.
just say?
So Helen's amendment,
Right.
Helen, do you want to move an
Please,
amendment?
Now I move, and I don't understand why this, and I'm going to speak to this, there's such a fuss about this.
amendment.
All I'm wanting is that we also receive information as much as possible on the case before the court that includes this land and council's position on it.
Do I have a mover?
Council is in there.
Let me put it, so we then agreeing to lay the report on the table to seek clarification on the position with the section 223 certificate for legal advice to be obtained on the relevant consideration for a road naming report decision and for the board to hold a workshop. Sorry, you'd want to put your amendment in there, Helen.
I just,
And
so I'm putting an amendment and also advice on the legal case before the courts, which relates to this land.
And take a breath.
You have water, Helen. But
This is not
Basically,
we'll add that in. I'll put the words in. So after asking for the clarification on the section 223 and for the legal advice and advice on the legal case before the courts,
which relates
to
this land.
And then we'll put and for a workshop to be held to receive the information. That's you've moved that, Helen. Helen, are you happy with those words?
I finished.
You're happy with those words?
Yes, that's fine.
Cody, can I ask you please, just a glass of water for Helen, please?
not sure.
So we have the initial resolution on the table, moved Mark, seconded Cody. Helen has moved an amendment. You have a second.
Moved by Helen, seconded by Debbie.
Is that a yes, Debbie?
Hmm.
Yeah, seconded by Debbie.
So we now vote.
No,
Oh, you want to speak?
speak to it. I'm feeling very discouraged, as I've said, that this couldn't just have been added in. So it's an amendment. It's really important that it's been raised. I like full information, and we're entitled as councillors and board member to have full information. There might be a case that pertains to this strongly, or it might be very weak. Before I can move anything on the road names, I need to know what this case is actually about. It sounds like we're going down the same track we've been before. So I'd like to know briefly what the case is about. I could find it through an official information request or going down the courts. It's tabled in the courts. So I can't see why we're pussyfooting around with this is silly. So I'd ask you to vote for this. It won't do any harm and it may do a lot of good. But I certainly can't even ratify this if I don't know what this case is about. Anybody else?
As seconder, just concur with Helen. Helen and I were the only board members on the board at the time. So we have years of understanding about the difficulty of this case, and there is more to the case than what meets the eye here. And so that's why I have seconded it, because there could be some serious consequential actions of going forward without knowing further information. And we have been cut out of a lot of discussion in the past. And I think it's about time we are able to have a workshop and also include Colin Stokes and more.
Thank you, Debbie. I've got Tyler and then Mark.
This case looks highly complex, obviously. And I want to personally appreciate Mr. Stokes coming through and actually providing context. There is a lot in these 4 pages that we've got right here for us to nut out. And obviously, we're a board that like more information before we make these decisions. And even though that it doesn't provide, even though we were just going through a simple road naming report, there is obviously contextual basis on which we may or may not vote upon it on the day. And I believe that this information that's been provided to us today, obviously, it gives good enough information for us to put it on the table and to make a better decision in the next month to provide the extra context that we needed. Yeah. Therefore, with the information that was provided and also with the resolution that was put forward, it's broad enough for us to be able to garner an understanding and get.
You're talking to Helen's amendment.
Yes, yes. It's broad enough for us to garner an understanding with Mark's one, which gives us the means and the tools for the home representatives and for this community board to be able to get what we need in order to make a decision around the road names, but also hopefully working with Mr. Stokes in the future to ensure that every party within this catchment is all sorted out, because it's very complex. Obviously, we've got more than a dozen points here to work through, and a lot of these actually make sense, and there's a lot of historical things that I don't know about. So therefore, I'm willing to try and broaden it out as much as I can to get as much information in as I can to be able to make that decision which is needed for next month.
It may be meaningless. I mean, at the end of the day. Does that include Helen's amendment?
No, Mark's one's broad enough.
Oh, you're voting against my amendment. Sorry.
I'm backing Mark's one.
Okay, Mark, no, Mark.
Thank you. Thank you, Colin, for coming in and bringing some context to this, what seemed a very simple decision. And it did trouble me that the report didn't in any way give any reference to the history, because the history of this case is huge. And I take my hat off to you in coming along and speaking to us and giving us that perspective. And I want to make sure that as a board, we make a sound decision that's as safe as we can make it. The last thing we want to do is make a decision that's going to disadvantage any party. And asking for information to come back to us in the coming month to try and make a safer decision is wisdom. I'm a little bit torn with regards to the amendment. My inclination is to potentially support the amendment, because I think the more information we can have, the better. because the complexities of this case is way beyond, I think, any of us here at the table. I suspect that probably the only one that really comes close legally would be perhaps Joseph with his legal training and his law degree. But let's get a vote together to either accept the amendment and then move with the laying on the table, or to reject the amendment. Whichever.
Thank you, Mark. I've got Cody.
Yeah, thank you. And I just also want to acknowledge the stress that you've really been through this whole ordeal. And we met myself and Mark, I think Sarah's also maybe there briefly with Dion actually about a bus issue when he first raised that with me. Since that time, I actually took the time to read through many of the court case documents as well. I'm still confused, I guess, about why it's not resolved even still till now. So for me, as a decision maker, I need assurance that we make a good decision, right? I don't need to know every detail, respectfully, but I don't have that assurance with the information that's in front of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Cody. I've got Joseph and then Sarah. Joseph, go ahead, please.
All right, thank you for coming in, Mr. Stokes. And it sounds like this has been much more stressful for you than it has been for us, if I can introduce a little bit of levity there. I'm against this amendment, and the reason is because as statutory decision makers, which is what we are, we have duties under the law to make our decisions based on relevant considerations and not based on irrelevant considerations. And the reason I'm opposing the amendment specifically is because it's a case before the courts. We have two main risks here that I can see. One is that we might guide this, we might prejudice ourselves, and we might guide the shape of the advice that we receive from staff in such a way that we might miss out on other information that we need, or might put too much weight on something that's temporally bound. A court case is not an indefinite, well, it is an indefinite thing, but it's not an infinite thing. It comes to an end eventually. And if we focus too much on this one temporally bound aspect of this decision, then we may be setting ourselves up to fail. That's why I'm opposing the amendment and supporting the motion. And thank you to Bailey and Faye for working on this one.
Yeah. Okay, Sarah.
Just further acknowledgement toward Colin and your family and everyone that's been involved in this, and thank you very much for taking the time, because obviously, as I said before, what's in the report is just very basic. I had, as a new board member, previous term, knew a little bit about what's going on. I'm still a little bit confused about even what a Section 223 certificate is and all the ins and outs of this. It's very complex. I personally am satisfied with Mark's amendment that specifies the word relevant legal advice. For me personally, I need something succinct that is relevant to the case. Anything extra is going to make me even more confused. I want to ensure that I make the right decision for the community. So that's what I'll be supporting, not supporting the amendment, supporting Mark's. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. So I am not suggesting that we do another debate on Mark's one, because you all did the general one. But on the amendment, I am giving Helen a right of reply.
I think I think it's important that we get all immediate information in front of the board. We don't know if this court case is appropriate or not. We have no idea. I am not prepared to make a decision without having some information on the case. It could only be a paragraph, but we need to know who's taking who to court and why the council is involved in it. And it seems an inappropriate time to be coming to us with road naming at a time when there's a possible case there. And I think, personally, I believe we should have been briefed on this in fact, the memo. But I don't worry too much about that. We've had Colin come in, and I think it's important we get all relevant, timely information. And I couldn't decide on this if I don't have that. And you can go down the court and get it. I can probably do a Lagoima tomorrow. So I think it's silly that we're not being able to put this in. I actually think you need it. And it might be totally irrelevant, in which case it's discarded. Right. It's up to us as board members to define what we want in information for a workshop. And I, as you've heard, I feel a bit put out that we're not making that call. So I'd like you to vote for it, and then we can have all relevant information.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Helen. So now we are going to vote on Helen's amendment. To include Helen's amendment in the draft resolution, all those in favor say aye.
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 Against?
No.
No.
Okay.
Votindo.
No.
Yeah, Votindo.
Carried.
Vote tender, we go.
Three.
I'll
Three.
vote
Nay.
carried. Sorry? Are you
Nay.
carrying it?
I'm nay.
As amended.
We use votendo.
Sorry.
Now we're going to votendo.
You're going to what? Sorry.
Votendo.
The vote.
iPad.
Oh, I haven't used that, I'm sorry.
We use the voting.
You can record Helen's one without opening it out. Yeah.
Okay.
Put in the.
Take a short adjournment while I put this on.
All right. We'll adjourn for a couple of minutes while Faye sets up the votendo.
Very good.
Okay, thank you.
That's on her desktop.
And then how do we put the names down? They come down.
It'll show up on screen. So we will.
Has she got me down?
Might be on that, Helen.
Don't know why. Can't tell me where it is.
Oh, yeah.
Right, we are back online. So we've got Votendo set up already in our iPads. Are we ready to vote? So we are voting only on the amendment, Helen's amendment, which is in front of your screen.
Come up with a result.
It will do. Once it's closed.
It will show up on.
Comes up with who votes which way.
Debbie, it'll show up here.
Oh.
Everybody's.
Everybody voted?
Oh, no, so we just.
Yeah, just vote for, abstain, against. Press which one's your vote.
Vote how everyone voted. Why don't you just use your hands?
Now, it's not doing anything.
No, it'll go to.
I'm done.
She'll close it after the voting's done.
Close voting?
All right, we'll close voting. 3, 2, 1, close.
So you just.
Did you vote, Helen?
Yep, she did. Yes.
Not approved. Now those names go down.
It is.
On, in effect, the minutes.
The next
Yes,
screen
yes,
shows who voted for.
yeah.
Why is there 9 people?
8,
Well, I put
9.
Councillor Moore in as
Abstain.
abstain because I hadn't
Sorry.
taken that out of the meeting.
Well,
There you
that's
go.
not a
There,
true reflection
Helen,
though, is
they're
it?
the names.
It'll be changed
Okay.
for the minutes.
That's reasonable.
Right, okay, so we move on to the,
The substantive.
So it's basically the ones who've been through this before.
Yeah, no, you're in the second column. I was also wondering that.
Mark's one?
Mark's one.
And we'll start voting on that.
So,
And I promised to send it round to you once I
Right.
got it.
so,
I'll get it out a different way.
right.
Just, but next time, please believe people.
You voted on this one?
Which one?
Open your app.
This is the laying it on the table.
Oh, I voted on that one, I thought.
For legal advice.
This is Mark's one now.
It's not approved.
Oh, well, you can come up for that there anyway.
Right, everybody all set? Voting closes now.
No, hang on, I haven't
Oh.
read it. Can I have time?
Yeah,
to
I
read it?
asked. Okay, yes, please.
Thank you. We hold a workshop to receive the information with Colin Stokes.
No, that wasn't what was moved.
Yes, I put.
It's moved and seconded, so you guys have to
It's
vote
been
on
moved
it.
and seconded.
Colin Stokes isn't like, oh,
So we need to vote
Damn
on
it.
what's on in
Jinxed us.
front of you.
we'll invite him.
Bloody jinx.
Voted, I close the.
So has everybody voted?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, close, please.
Yes, well done, team.
Oh, who was that abstainer?
Andre,
No.
and it's been approved.
Put it on
Okay,
the screen.
carried.
What's the amendment? Did Andre vote?
Abstain.
Sorry.
Sorry,
He's not
Andre
here.
isn't at the
He's
meeting.
He's at the meeting.
He
He's
is
not.
not at the meeting.
absent.
I hadn't put him in as the apology hadn't, so I put him in as an abstain because he did.
It will be updated in the minutes.
It will,
Doesn't affect it.
he didn't vote.
All right,
That's great.
so thank you, Sean. We are, if you're still there.
Thanks, guys. We're done.
All right.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Sean.
Thank you, Sean.
Evening.
Right, we move on to the next item, the bus stop upgrades. Mansoor, come forward, please.
So happy these Riccarton ones are up.
No, yes. Oh, and Andrew.
Would you like a brief summary of the report, or you want to take the report as read and build directly to question?
Everybody
Do
happy?
you guys have an amendment for your one?
Can we, yeah, just move them separately? Because it was an option to do that.
To move separately?
Yeah.
Each one? Is that what you're asking? For each, for
no,
the four, each
just for
one be moved separately?
Yeah.
Right, move separately.
Well, you
Was
could,
it just the 11 to 13?
yes, could you move in?
What have we got?
Well, is it,
Okay.
Yeah.
do you want each of them separately, Cody, or you?
It just
you
lasts
prefer-
for 4 seconds.
You want us to separate that one out?
Yeah.
What's your drive?
So-
11 to 13.
Thank you.
11 to
Yeah,
13.
11 to
11 to 13 will be separated out.
Yes,
You're happy with
vote that separately.
Good stuff.
Yeah, okay, so you want, let staff to talk to it first?
Yes.
Okay,
The Caulfield Drive one particularly.
I think just.
just a brief
around Corsair Drive and the comments. On the
And
deputation.
yes, if you can just give us also your response to the deputation, that would be great.
Sure thing.
Thank you.
So 4 bus stop upgrades, all 4 well-used bus stops, all asked by the community. 2 of them are on Island Road and Riccarton Road. Well, the community requested that, living beside that, they are supported.
My guy, thank you so much.
Including one in the Arvida retirement village, so they really support that in the report. I think we are very clear with those. Then we have the bus stops at the Wales Patterson intersection. We had the request for putting line marking there and also a shelter. We have done these. The bus stop outside 1, 2, 3 have to be relocated because of the road width, which is too narrow over there. We also had a request for the how the buses are turning. So Andrew take care of that, and the recommendation is to put a stop control over there. So we had some concerns raised due to consultation about the location of the new bus stops on the Patterson Road. And we are quite confident with that. It has enough space from the intersection. Legally, buses can park up to 6 meters. So this one is about 20 meters from the intersection. So it shouldn't be any problem with that. And also about whether we have investigated other options, like in southeast onto the World Street. We have done that, unfortunately, because of the spacing with the driveways and trees. We don't have that much feasible options. In addition, with the road curvature, which is not shown here. So these options, the Wells Pearson intersection upgrade also straightforward. The one on the Corsair Drive, so the request we received from the county is to install a shelter, and that's what we have investigated. When we do these sort of upgrades, the relocation is only a feasible option if we have a serious or significant operational issue in the original location, which is not the case here. The concerns they raised, a few undesired behavior around that space. So I think the shelter is not something that will increase the undesired behavior, might already exist there. So the shelter may even use some of them. In terms of the site visits, like the sightline interruption, the shelters that we're installing are all glasses, so it's not blocking any sightline. And in terms of the pedestrian space, we are putting a half-meter shelter. It's called the slimline shelter, so there's no problem with that. In terms of the suggestion that the solution they are suggest about relocating the bus stop closer to the shops, first of all, the location just outside of the shops where we have the bars, the location is under the heritage setting. And also we don't have a proper curves over there. So it's gonna be a huge a bus stop upgrades in terms of the costing out of our scope. The other second option will be moving about 70 meters closer to shops outside somebody else's house, which can be investigated. We haven't investigated that. And the main reason for that is that our practice is just to relocate a bus stop when there is a serious problem. And there is not that much problem with these bus stop. Actually, it's working well, it's well used. So we we propose to install the shelter where the bus stop is.
Right.
I put that the photo up of the slimline. Oh, that let's talk about that's the slimline shelter.
The slimline shelter. That's the photo. All right. So thank you, Mansoor and Andrew. I've got questions from Cody and then Tyler. Cody, please go ahead.
Thank you. Just on the Riccarton Road one, this is meant to be it is a high frequency route. There's a lot of buses that currently go along there. Just thinking about Etienne's network review, which is coming through now, and then also looking towards like a bus rapid transit and so on. Is it appropriate to have so many bus stops? And I guess we're being asked to spend $30,000 to put a shelter in there when there's another bus stop that's just 190 meters away.
Well, in terms of the shelters, like what the trigger is the number of people using that bus stop.
Yeah.
Right. So you might have two bus stops very close to each other, but lots of people using both.
Yeah.
So I know that like having close bus stop on a high frequency road is not desirable. That's something that could be reviewed in the future. But for that specific upgrade shelter, as long as many people are using that bus stop,
yeah,
I think it's justified to install the shelter. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. Thanks, Cody. Tyler and then Helen. Tyler first.
Hey, Mansoor. So in regards to the Corsair one, just for public clarity, it's sort of a retrofitting or an upgrading of an already existing bus stop.
Yes. So what we are saying is we're just saying add a shelter to an existing bus stop, which doesn't
to improve amenity and things like that. Okay, cool. And in regards to the potential costings, say for example, if the board did that, I'm not keen on it, but if the board did do it, what would the potential costings be for establishing a new one outside Chinatown?
I think
in your experience.
With the experience, because there is nothing in terms of the curbing and food costs, there will be extra 50 to 60K at least.
The risk is it's flush, as I understand.
Yeah,
and we've had problems in the past where there's no curb because a bus or even another vehicle pulling into it risks hitting the roof of the shelter. I think that's probably the main risk, isn't it? And so without a curb,
it is. And the other thing is that we're putting the bus stop on a shared path, while the current location is just in a bay.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
No, that's good explanation. Okay, yeah. And in regards to the Riccarton ones, are you going to notify the residents that you've done it?
I think, yeah, they're already aware that the meeting is going on.
Yeah, cool.
Once the decision is made, we also inform them, those that submitted, the motel, which I was requesting, they submitted a support.
I'll have to send them flowers.
To inform them.
They've been wanting it so much, so thanks so much for getting it done. Appreciate that. Cool, all good.
Thank you, Tyler. I've got Helen and then Cody.
Yes, were you here when the deputation was here?
Motel,
yes.
Yes. So what is the reason for not moving it closer to the shopping centre?
So I was just like explaining, going there, we have a couple of risks, including the risk to create a footpath and a curb, which is like highly costly. The proposed location is like a flash area. So it's gonna be a highly expensive thing for something which is not a necessary thing to do. It's a desirable thing to do. So that's why it's outside of the budget to do that.
So you mean flush, you mean it's higher?
No, it's level.
Flush with the road.
So the road and the footpath are the same level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you heard the deputation, then there's another option. So what's the option for it?
No, it's two options at the existing bus stop.
Yeah.
If you look at the plan,
yes,
you have option 1 and option 2, which the option 2 is right outside of the window. So that's why we are preferring the option 1, which I think the deputy was also.
Looks like it works right.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Sorry, I haven't quite picked it up, but anyway, I'm not comfortable actually in view of the deputation, but I'll give a vote accordingly. Yeah, thank
There's
you.
also some questions around the heritage setting, and that's something that I hadn't been made aware of before and looked into with Mansour. And that is around those concrete plinths or bollards and the significance of them and their layout. So
all you know.
So that's another context, because they would, I understand, have to be removed or relocated.
Yes,
for sure. Part of any physical works.
Indeed, any design over there needs to comply with the district plan activity standard. That's what I heard from the heritage team, and also a heritage resource consent is to be granted.
Don't tell Phil.
Like, it's a desirable move, but with a higher cost. Like,
High cost.
That's another argument of the day.
Wow. That's
Right.
mind blowing.
All good, Helen?
Yes, I'll move that you put them separately, please.
All right.
Yes.
Cody.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
The Peterson Terrace one as well, just when I also
11,
because it seems like there's quite a lot of changes. That was actually based on some feedback that I actually got from bus drivers who operate in the area as well. So it's really pleasing to see those changes reflected, and they'll actually increase the safety in the area as well. Just back to the Corsair one. So the other residents at number 1 were not here tonight. Some of the issues that they described to me were around, the trespassing and so on. Would you think that with the shelter installed, perhaps, this was some of the discussion I had with them, like people sort of like loitering in the driveway and so forth, maybe they were looking for shelter. Do you find historically, like based on your previous experience, when you put the shelter in, people more likely to use it than sort of other people's thing?
yes, I can confirm, like I've heard from the affected residents, like specifically those close to highly used ones, like close to schools. When there is not a shelter, specifically kids try to go under the driveway, find some shelters, like staying beside a tree or something. So they were encouraging us to put shelter, and this was sort of expected to reduce the people to going to the like driveway, finding something like the awning or something for shelter.
Thank you.
Right, all good. We are going to any further questions? No more questions? Thank you, Mansoor and Andrew. Tyler has moved, we are separating 11 to 13. So you are moving 1 to 10?
I'm happy.
Move it both.
Together.
Put together?
Yeah, everyone okay with that?
Well, I don't want them all moved separately, but I want the Corsair driveway. So it all moved other than the Corsair driveway.
1 to 10 and 11 to
13.
Yeah,
13.
that's fine.
Yeah. Are you happy with that, Tyler? It's only voting on them.
So 1 to 13, Tyler's move. Or 1 to 10 and 11 to 13.
Do we have a seconder for Tyler?
Seconder, Mark.
You just confirm what that is. That 1 to
1 to 10 and 11 to 13? Yes.
Yeah, let's just push the pick and save one throughout this thing. Then you go home.
But we're voting separately. Right, so
Got to go there on the way home.
Tyler has moved all of it, and Mark has seconded all of it. We are going to vote for now 1 to 10. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried. 1 to 10. Now we are voting 11 to 13, which is Christie Lane on Corsair Drive. All those in favor say aye.
And this is option 1, isn't it?
Yeah,
Option 1. Yes, option 1. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
And I'm
Against?
I'm abstaining, thank you.
Abstain, Helen. Carried.
Not my ward, so.
Very good.
So we have
So-
nobody voted against, so this
No.
needs to go into.
One abstention.
No,
It's one abstention.
one abstention.
Yeah.
One abstention, thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you all.
Oh, now we move on to, back and say,
Happy to move.
sorry.
We can see.
Oh, all right, moved by Tyler, seconded by Mark.
Which one is this again, please?
Second save.
Sorry?
Save, item number 2.
Oh, back and save you. Ah, yes. We're having a staff member here?
They are here. Do you want to have, do you have any questions? Oh, okay. Lichi, welcome. And Andy Milne, welcome. We've got Helen who has a question.
Yes, I think I've asked the question. This is a resource consent, it's been decided, hasn't it? So you're tabling it for us for what reason?
Terrific purpose.
This resource concern apply for variation. I submit my package for variation on their existing consent to upgrade their current loading access and loading arrangement and propose of new loading access. of multiple street. To enable this variation, this number of change will be required within the public road reserve that require approval from the board. The change including like we will have a like brand new tactile paving at the northern side of vehicle crossing. Oh, you can see, and top.
So those colour washed blue are the areas of change to the.
Okay.
Don't worry about it, because it's nothing, it's just things.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the existing crossing island will be modified to become like 1.8 meter wide medium strip and a feature with a 2.5 meter wide.
So is the
crossing.
pedestrian median strip, is that being moved north?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. Okay. And now did I get this? All reasonable size vehicles are turning left?
Yeah, it has been.
And the long vehicles go right or left?
So we're talking about that there's a turn restriction on the service bay, right?
Yes.
And for the biggest trucks, we've limited their ability, and all trucks from the service bay may only turn left.
Okay. Yeah. So the big trucks.
The biggest
trucks go right.
No. The biggest trucks are limited.
Oh, to 6 to 8. Okay. So I guess the question I've got is we're hoping potentially, but it's only potential, to get traffic islands. Traffic signals at Maxwell.
Another issue would be.
It's got to go through the long-term plan,
Yeah,
so it's next year. So will it have any effect on us applying for that? No. Okay. Right. That's all.
Thank you, Helen. I've got Cody next.
Yeah, thank you for taking time to answer. I did ask a lot of questions about this one. I'm just thinking about if I'm a car driver who's coming out of here and trying to turn left, and there's someone in this area trying to turn right, I may actually be able to turn left, but I actually won't be able to see turning right because of the other person who will face the issue where they have to give way to both ways. Right, so that will actually cause a delay for people turning out. Or no?
Well, it could do, but it's a common fact when you have a right and a left turn. Then it depends. Sometimes you can look through the car, blocking you to be able to make that decision to move.
It's just that it's angled, which is unusual. I appreciate how it already is as well.
It's not 90 degrees, but it's not such an angle that you would have to twist your neck around and discourage you from looking properly.
So what is the purpose of the angle?
Yep. Now let's try up and point to the screen.
Sure.
So the angle is there to enable right turners, trucks as well, bigger trucks to be able to come in and make that right turn. So that was straight out. It would deny the ability for trucks to make that turn.
And the truck have to make very sharp.
Sure. But could we not just reduce the width of the
because of this?
Yeah, sure.
Well, we can't reduce it any further because this is a refuge island for.
I understand that, but it could probably be halved, couldn't it?
Well, we understand that this is existing. Yeah.
Yes.
From a resource consenting point of view, it had no additional adverse effects. This application had no additional adverse effects, and that retains the same point on that tangent point there. Is the same as what we have right now.
So it's exactly the same. It won't change as part of the construction.
We believe, this point here will remain. This tangent point here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we understand that there's kinetics, electricity. What you got a distribution involved. That'll have to be shifted as a consequence of this, and kinetics have suggested that it goes there.
Okay.
It's small. We think it's a small thing. The existing one is only 200 mil by 100 mil.
Sure.
It's about that height. So
okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Okay, no more further questions. Thank you, Lichi. Thank you, Andy. And so it has been moved by Tyler and seconded by Mark. Now, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Against?
Carried. Thank you.
Good work, team.
Now Waterloo Road, Kia School Patrol Crossing. We've got Nick Reed
Get in there, Sarah.
and Ashley Beaton.
Get in there.
Getting there. Okay, moved by Mark, seconded by Sarah. Any
Yes.
questions? Welcome.
Yep.
Mark.
Thank you. I believe this is covered in the report that the school's ultimate desire here was to see if they could get signalised crossing. I gather that's been ruled out because it's too expensive. Yeah. Right. And is there a possibility later down the track that we could look to upgrade that through a, I guess, an LTP process? Yeah. Another question here. When these crossing points and the speed humps were put in place back in 2022, there was mention then of the potential for putting in or looking at the idea of putting in the curbside fencing, because people notice sort of students just crossing randomly at different points along there. Is that something that we can look to monitor going forward to, upgrade should we need to?
Yeah, it's definitely something we can monitor. Like at the moment, if we were to put in fencing, it would kind of take out all of that parking. From our observations when we've been out there, there's very few and far students now that those refuges are in place that are crossing at random points. And I think the school is kind of directing all students to come out of that one pedestrian gate that takes them to where the school patrol will be. The students that come out of the other gates, I think, are the students that will never be able to stop from crossing in a random place as well. So, yeah.
Other thing, I understand this is kind of in response to a student being knocked over outside the school. Was it on this crossing or was it one of the other crossings? Because I thought what information I got from a parent that I know.
Yeah, I believe when I talked to the school, it was from this particular crossing.
Okay.
Was the indication I had. We haven't had an official
Whereas the
crash report.
The report I had was that it was actually one down by the early learning centre.
Okay.
So it was the small crossing. So anyway, good to see this.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Any other questions? Cody?
Can you just help me understand the cost of $6,000?
Yeah, that's just the cost that these take to put in place. Done a few others in the last year around the rest of the city, and yeah, that's just the cost of the poles and the state
Right.
signs.
Yeah.
No, not state.
Yeah. They're care costs.
Here, arms.
Yeah,
So it's fine. Okay.
yeah, it's just for signs.
All right. Thanks, Cody. Mark?
Just another question. When I visited the school, they were quite keen for a zebra crossing to be added with this. Is that something that's been considered?
I actually met with the school kind of a couple of years ago, and we've talked to them previously and talked to the students previously about a zebra. The students especially raised concerns around just a zebra there without a kind of school patrol, mostly because a constant stream, I don't know if you've been out there at 3 p.m, but the constant stream of students would mean that all traffic would stop on Waterloo Road until students decide to stop exiting the school, which might create quite a congestion issue for Waterloo Road. So from what I've heard, they're not having issues outside of those kind of peak times crossing, not to say that they don't, but that hasn't really come through as much now with the speed humps. So
I guess one of the precedents for this crossing would be what's around the corner on Hayholt Road, where there is a zebra crossing with gear arms as well. So I'm sure that question is probably going to come back to us as elected members as to why not.
Yeah, we'd have to make some other infrastructure changes there as well with those humps and the hump markings. They would that are currently in place and put in 2022. Great treatment, but they would obstruct those line markings, the white line markings of the zebra. So you'd have to physically change something slightly there too.
I guess we'll keep an eye on it after this lands and tweak it as we need to.
Handle.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you.
Okay. Any further questions? No. Thank you, Nick and Ashley. Right. So it has been moved by Mark and seconded by Sarah. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried. Thank you.
Congratulations, Councillor Peters and board members.
Right.
Go have yourselves a Kia crossing.
Right, now we move on to the DRF, Discretionary Response Fund for the Halswell United Association Football Club. Helen.
Hi,
Are you
everybody.
gonna move it?
I'm going to take the report as read.
Yep.
Does anyone have any questions on this?
Moved by Tyler,
Oh, okay.
seconded by Marie.
Yep. I said, are you gonna move it, not me? Yeah.
You move it, right. And any questions to Helen? No?
All good.
Great, thanks, Helen. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried. Thank you. Now we move on to the Community Board Area Report. Bailey.
Yes, I am going to take the opportunity actually to highlight some of the things that are in the report. I know I normally take it as read, but there's lots of awesome mahi in here, and a shout out to the team who continue to do really awesome work with our community groups. So you know that we didn't have Community Garden Awards ceremony this year, but Noella downstairs last week had cups of teas and biscuits and allowed those to come and collect their certificates. So we had over 60 people come throughout the day to collect their certificates, and they came and they stayed for a long time and they connected with each other, and it actually turned out to be a really awesome way to get those certificates to them, and their beautiful gardens were being on displayed, and yeah, they were able to connect either with their neighbours or others who obviously have a shared hobby in making their homes look really beautiful. So that was really awesome. The Incorporated Societies Act changes came into effect very recently, which has been a big piece of work for our team in supporting hundreds of our community organisations to understand what that change meant for them as an organisation, and give them some advice and support on whether that was getting them up to date and updating their constitution to fit within the new act, or whether it was time for that organisation to look at how it is best structured to move forward. So that's it was also a big piece of work. The Upper Riccarton Community Connections Showcase Series, which was a pilot that our development advisors and rec advisors worked on. So at the awesome new Upper Riccarton Library space, community groups were able to, and still are, it was really to highlight that what that space can be used for. So we had community organisations come down for a day or for a few hours on a Friday evening, have a sausage sizzle. There's some beautiful photos in there from some of our Fijian community having dances, and so that those who are transitioning through that space were able to see it activated, which was really awesome. And then the last thing I will highlight is that the Funding Accountability Report for Strengthening Communities is attached. So you might have seen it but not read through, but that is the summary of all of the Strengthening Communities funding that the board allocated last year, and they're reporting back, the community organisations reporting back on with the work that they did with that funding. So that's a really great read to see what that funding enables our community organisations to do and the impact that it has on our communities, and that we will be heading into our Strengthening Communities round next month. So it is good context for our new members who potentially aren't aware of some of our community groups, who we will likely see coming back to ask for funding. That's all.
Thank you, Bailey. Any questions to Bailey? No. Mark?
Yeah, just one question around the Community Pride Garden Awards. Great to hear there's a huge success for the recipients in the community. There was one my sense is that our councillor diaries were full that day, so it was unfortunate you couldn't get too much like a member there. Did the community board members get to?
I couldn't get
I was so unclear. Actually, I felt it was so unclear when people would come. So you either had to be there the whole day or none of it,
I was there for a couple of hours. I did see a few coming.
But we also didn't know. It was this year it was all day, so that was to allow for so able during the day. Some people came on their lunch break, and then the team were downstairs till 5:30 for those who maybe working could go afterwards. That period was actually really quiet, which we kind of know the demographic that receive those awards are mostly able to come during the day. But we also don't know. And yeah, it probably was more of a success than we anticipated it would be.
So we're doing next year, we're having a proper service, aren't we?
That's currently what the board has agreed to, but we that comes through the board projects, which we come back to you every year through the ECF process.
So the other thing we could do is not do it 1 year. So have our formal presentations 1 year, and then the following year don't have it. Yes, I mean that's another option.
Yeah, it is, and that is something the board will be able to have a say on in a few months' time.
Right, all good, Helen?
No, I've got no questions.
All right, Tyler?
Hi, I'm just drawing.
I can see what you're looking at.
Yeah, you already know. You already know. So I don't understand in terms of the report date. So you've got tickets. I'm just referring to page 285, guys. So you've got tickets as 65%, 32%, and then 1% program work. But then you've got 91% resolved within the SLA.
Sorry, let me just. I've lost it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys have been so busy, by the way. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so sorry, can you please say that again?
So I'm not sure around the, how do I say this? There's two conflicting data sets here. One says 91% are resolved within the SLA, and the other one says on the left side, closed, open, and programmed work. But I'm just not sure. Is it out of the 65%, 91% are resolved within the SLA?
I'll ask the team that put.
I've always wanted to ask these data guys something because something's not really adding up for me. And I'm also wondering about the levels of service. Obviously, Riccarton always tops this board in waste by a huge margin. So we've got 255 for this quarter. And I've put in multiple requests around levels of service, but nothing seems to come back. Would there be any opportunity for us to ask staff around what changes have there been?
Yeah, I'll go back because we've asked that question before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you've raised that before.
Seems like they've been not done anything, but I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah, or just how this data informs levels of service and they then confirm them with the elected members.
Last time it was location focused. So Old Blenheim Road people used to throw things out the window.
Yeah.
But then it became fly tipping, and then it became litter on Riccarton Road. It just all
It's the intensification actually.
And the not just that, the transient population. I mean, people use Riccarton for the mall.
Yes, I know.
You know,
and you're there for 6
work
months,
here,
and
then they'll go home
you've come
to
back
Hornby. But yeah, no, that's good.
All good?
Yeah.
Right, so I'm happy to move this area report, seconded by Mark.
Great job, guys. Yes.
And so all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Against? Carried. Thank you. And then we've got our last item, elected members information exchange. Anybody wants to say a couple of things?
I've got something.
I've got Tyler, I've got Helen,
That's all right.
I've got Mark. Anybody else? Okay, Tyler.
We do Tyler.
Oh,
Sorry.
Helen first, because Tyler's thing is not ready. Helen.
Oh, me, sorry. I'm a bit concerned that private plan changes are coming through and we actually don't know. And I opened the paper on Saturday to see there's a private plan change in Kirkwood Avenue, which has got a whole load of units, and they're not going to be owned by the same person. They're going to be at this stage separate units and funded separately. Now, but the private plan changes, there must have been a backup of them because they weren't coming through while we did plan change 14. Can we be notified when a private plan change, perhaps on a monthly basis?
Are you meaning major development or private plan change?
A private plan change of a major sort, major nature.
Oh, well, because
What is a major nature?
So are we,
14 Kirkwood Ave isn't a private plan change. It's just a
yes,
large development.
But the private plan change.
So I'm trying to get plan changes through at the
Yes, it
moment.
is. That's my reading of it, the private plan change by the Williams
It's
Corporation.
just a resource consent.
Yeah, correct.
No, is it? Have I got that wrong?
No.
Yeah, I got more information on it.
But the issue is, can we be notified of private plan changes at the point they come into the council offices? They are
Notified,
public information.
private plan changes.
Yes.
Yeah, and the board does receive memos.
So what's that?
The board does receive notification for the private plan change
Do you?
in our area.
Yeah.
All of those that are outside of our board area are available on the website. They're public.
So I go into private plan change.
Can I just say the current private plan changes right now are Cashmere Fields Henderson's plan change, Marshes Road Industrial Plan change, Upper Sticks Meadow Stream Residential Plan change, Whisper Creek Residential Plan change, Johns Road is Industrial Plan change. So Kirkwood is
And
not.
Marshes Road was a private plan change.
Marshes Road Industrial Plan change.
It was our area though.
Yes, so Kirkwood is not a private plan change.
So it's
Just to confirm, these are the current private plan changes.
is it?
Yeah.
Okay, it's huge. So is there any way we can be, or do you think we can search ourselves?
Yeah.
Once we could do it?
You can search, but the board is also notified via the memo process because the board recently submitted on one of these.
I think the question is, can we be notified for receipts?
Yes, I mean, when it comes
Those
in,
are-
in
You can
future,
search.
They're on the website, Helen.
can we be told it's there?
No, I asked this already, like last term, I asked if we can be notified of resource consent
Yes, it-
applications, and they said, no, it's available online, we are free to search.
So they
them.
put it in the first
Online.
week of, it comes in, do they? On
No, they come in
the 2
every day,
weeks?
Helen. You can see it on the website.
No, but I'm not so used to websites, but they will put it in the first couple of weeks.
I'm not sure when they do put it in, but I did ask before if the board can be notified about these things. They said, no, it is available publicly on the website, that's all.
Only notified.
And private,
Only notified consents.
only notified consents. Well, are we able?
Publicly notified.
So are we able to be told of
No,
consents which are large consents?
no.
Because you read the paper and you think, heavens. So
Because if they're gonna do this to us, they're gonna have to do it to every other board.
everybody.
And they do not have the capacity to do that.
But a result, so it's only we only know about
Publicly
a resource
notified.
consent unless it's notified. We only know about it when it's approved. Is that right? So we only get the information once it's approved
Publicly notified.
or publicly notified. So we don't get the ones that are large consents, which people would think we should know about, but we don't.
Well, probably the public or your constituents will let
Even
you
if
know.
I have to ask for the resource consents, I don't get
No.
notification of any.
Don't you?
process. No,
And
no.
what do you do? You're going to ask for one.
I ask for
when
this,
you know
I
about it.
ask staff,
Yes.
and then staff come back to me with the resource consent.
So would
Like
I,
Kirkwood have, for
would
example.
I have to know that one's happened, or could I just say, could I have it on a weekly basis?
No, you can't ask it for a
We'll have to
regular
put
basis.
staff time on it.
Pardon?
We'll have to put staff time on it.
Yes, I know.
And they'll have to keep looking at the website. It's probably easier if we do it ourselves.
But it seems like private plan changes are on the website.
There's about 5 or 6
Yes.
major ones at the moment, but
Private plan, there are only 5 private plan changes right now.
So we will normally get a memo, Helen, on private plan changes.
Oh, yes, I realise that.
In our area.
But if it's resource consent, we don't.
No, that's right.
I'll have a look at the Williams resource. It could be a resource consent, but it's come through in the paper. I had no idea.
I can tell you about it.
And it's about 150 units.
Okay.
Yeah, so can we?
Not for consents.
Are we?
What you'd want to do is
There
you'd
must
want
be
to
a
make
way.
a much less impactful request for staff time. So what you might want to do is find a list of all of the sites in Riccarton area that you're interested in that are of a certain size, that's of a manageable size, and then you could put that out as a request that's not going to take up hours.
There we go.
Staff time.
I we actually ought to be informed, but obviously I'll have to find a way of.
I've already asked for it before.
On the website, Helen.
Oh, do councillors get informed too or not?
No, no.
Yeah, you have to search us.
That's the same sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Citywide.
With it. Yeah.
It's citywide like that. Right, Tyler.
Yes.
It worked.
Okay, so we have the old Soccer and Service Centre site. Just wanted to just remind people and update the public on it. So we have 3 sites there. The yellow site, Naito have first right of refusal. It's actually Crown-owned land. So if we decide to sell the site, we'll get 50% of the sale on both the yellow and the green section. Now the local purpose reserve, which is where the old service centre site is, I was really gutted they knocked all the trees down. I was really grumpy.
Why?
But yeah, Luke knows. So that there would be really good for some kind of amenity there. Also, a waterway is actually potentially being exposed within the Three Waters and the Green Park catchment. But the yellow part is actually really good for commercial land because it's actually on an arterial route, which will be perfect for commercial land for us to make some money off it, which is fine because it's not usable, to be honest. There have been some unsolicited offers, of which I don't know who, but they haven't gone anywhere. So therefore that's sitting there. That's why it's not in the current annual plan, because Bruce Rendell's still working for it.
This is the old Stockburn Service Centre.
Yeah. So just an update, Hornby Resident Association, Great Hornby Resident Association, they came up and said they'd like a dog park somewhere in this vicinity, and they thought about utilising this space. I'm open for it. I mean, yeah.
Which space, the green?
Yeah, wherever.
Yeah.
It'd be weird having a dog park on Blenheim Road, but I mean, someone can do. But that's a highly productive commercial site where that yellow one is. That green one, they can actually, kids can go across to the park because that park's going to be renovated soon too. Nick?
Yeah. Is this considered the MRT? It could be a good location.
That's probably why they're holding on strategically to the site.
Okay.
And who actually owns that blue area?
We do, and we're going to keep it.
The whole lot?
We're going to keep it. It's for Three Waters.
Three Waters.
Oh, Three Waters, so the whole lot's owned by us?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is there also an opportunity to open the farm? Because you used to be able to walk through.
Yeah, there
But
is.
now you can't.
Yeah, true. The problem is situated behind the dairy, etc., which everyone's obviously referenced, but I'm sure we'll be able to work through something. There's been no other plans between me and staff around what other use we could do, but I know that there's significant public interest in it, so I just wanted to update people where we're at the moment.
At one stage in the green area, that's the old service centre, they were thinking of that as a drafting office for council staff. That's not about 5 years ago.
Oh,
So it's probably drifted off.
could be a dog park, but anyway, 5,000 squares. So next one, Faye, just quickly, I'll quickly go through them.
Yeah.
So there's been significant vibration issues across Riccarton, and I'm noticing that the Three Waters infrastructure is actually giving way, particularly with heavy transport. This here is on Straven Road. This is outside Rata Street. I've already put in a ticket for it. I think Andrews, he's not here, but he went to go and check it out. But that's that Kahu Road thing that we brought up. That's happening across that whole catchment. And from what I actually think it's from the underground works post-earthquake, because there's actually a stream running straight through that. Like underground, there's a stream running straight through that all the way to Hagley Park. If you go down, Faye.
So they've just done that road, if you bring it back,
Yeah.
the road up above is Bradshaw Terrace.
Yes, that's right.
Which took ages to get fixed.
Yes. Congratulations, by the way.
Yeah. 10 years.
Another issue that I'm getting quite a lot, and I'm not sure where to go to from here because it's taking ages. This here is on Middleton Road. This is a brand new development, but the problem that we're having at the moment is developers are developing their sites, stuffing up the footpaths,
And leaving it.
yeah, and then elderly are having a really hard time crossing.
Maybe followed up.
So there was a retirement village up the road who actually can't actually go to Middleton Park because of this.
Yeah.
And people don't realise the implications that it has for our elderly. They literally can't walk because their feet can't lift high enough to get over these bumps and whatnot.
Aren't they supposed to put something temporary for the elderly?
These ones are a couple, like a family developer. And I've already put in a request in for this, obviously. But again, that's happening all across Riccarton.
So who's meant,
Thank you, Faye.
who's meant to do it? Is it council or the actual developer?
That's
The developer.
The developer's
Does
supposed to
it
be,
fix it?
yes.
So we need to get in penalties too.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, have a look at those.
I mean,
council.
it'd be cool if we had some leverage like that.
There actually is. You can contact the duty building compliance officer.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll flick.
Faye's doing a good favour too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
It's not
happens
good.
really frequently, even on some really highly pedestrianised areas. And they'll leave these like massive stones and
It's
stuff.
so annoying, man.
Which
It's
you
so
can't even
annoying.
walk across if you've got a cramp or something.
Yeah. And these are the things people really care about. They don't, you
I
know.
know.
To be honest, you shouldn't get co-compliance on that development until you've got.
Because it's a beautiful driveway. Yeah.
We
Next one,
couldn't hand out a
quickly.
building consent,
Sorry, I'm getting
basically.
rushed, I
We
can-
could say you can't. It's not
Next up, yeah. Again,
the Riccarton zone.
the effects of rainwater. This isn't Showgate Reserve. This is actually mine and Mark's patch-ish. A neighbour came up to me, and that's taken a few months to get done because they can't find where the stream is because it's the back of a reserve. But anyway, there's issues like this happening all across, and that was from the last significant flood. And actually a huge river goes right down the back of these properties down Showgate. Next one, Faye. And then the one that Sam McDonald and I have been working on and talking about, and this is something I wanted to talk to the board about, is doing small wins. So there's things like this that actually really affect the environment and the amenity of our wards. But you'd think that they're easy. They're obviously not as easy. But I'm thinking about coming with Sam to go to the community boards and then come up with, say, 10 small wins for them to just smash out. That could be just bump outs on a road. That could be something like this. It could be just something as simple as this to just get things moving and get momentum going. Because at the moment, we're worried about the big stuff, but the little stuff is giving way. That's at Stockburn, by the way.
Are you saying, so I know that. Have they built the seat? Is that what you were saying would be the win, or is there an issue with it? I'm not sure.
No, the seat, yeah.
Oh, sorry, it's got a thing bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
But they could obviously revamp it or whatever, but whatever they can do, you know, it's a really big key issue that I'm noticing across all of our areas. But if we ended up coming together as a board, coming up with some small wins to give to staff to go and nut out over the year. Imagine that we gave them 10 each. They said, yep, they're all done. You know, like the one in Rigwin, for example, where they wanted that seat in the park. We went out and did it. It's a huge win because they loved it, you know. But that's something huge. Really quickly, Faye, next one. And then obviously we've got that. I did that myself. I didn't dump it. I picked it all up. But yeah, I found blades and stuff inside the bark. But I just wanted to commend staff for the action that they did. That was gone within 2 days. But I had to say that there were blades in the bark. I had to say that there was sharp things in the bark. I pulled them out myself and kept them out because I'm not going to throw them in the trolley. I took them myself, threw them in my own red bin. This was at the back of Service Street. Remind me, Luke. It comes to my head. It's a small reserve between Hanson's Lane and
Hanson's Reserve?
No, other side. Oh, it'll come to me.
Hillary?
Which one?
Hillary?
Yes, thank you. Hillary Crescent. Next one, please, Faye, last one. This is the last thing I wanted to talk about. And we've actually had a passing in my ward, Riccarton. And it was the old Papirua County Council clerk who actually moved the transition between Papirua into Christchurch City Council. And he lived on Main South Road. And I just talked to Leanne, his wife, today, and I didn't even know he passed, and which is a crazy thing. But he dedicated around 25 years of service to our area. And 13 of those years, he was the county clerk, building the transition. Wow. And for Main South Road, Blenheim Road, most of the Hey area, we can thank him for signing off on all of the development across the Papirui County. So I just want to acknowledge Brian Leonard Moore today. And he wasn't a public-facing figure. He was behind the scenes, like Mary. His contribution was obviously substantial because within that period of growth, he pushed it forward alongside the councillors, obviously, and the people that were helping shape the Papirui County Council. So I just want to acknowledge him, his wife Leanne, his children, and his grandchildren. And that is the old Stockbird Service Centre site where he used to work from. So he lives across the road. He had his own county clerk's house. Wow. And yes, I just want to acknowledge him today. B.L. Moore was his name, so it's worth Googling in the archives. Yeah, and I did note in 2010 to 2013, there was considerations for B.L. for Brian Moore in one of the road names.
Name for the
I think it was
Park Reserve at Stockburn.
There we go. We'll remember that. But yeah, the board had a proposed road name.
Not
MOOAR,
not Andre Moore.
not Andre Moore. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, just wanted to just lastly acknowledge Brian and all of the work that he did for the community and his passing. Sorry guys, that was
Anybody else? Thank you, Tyler. Mark.
I just wanted to quickly update the board that I met with the Yaldhurst Rural Residents Association yesterday with the property team because the Yaldhurst Memorial Hall still hasn't transferred to them. It's been almost 2 years now since the council decided to give it them, and they're still trying to agree terms to undertake the transfer. So I'm working with staff to try and just get this progressing so that we can actually get it in their hands, so they can start to do their renovation.
About a year ago, it was voted on, wasn't
2
it?
years.
2 years ago.
Yes. Wow.
Wow.
So just give you an update that it's still ongoing, and I'll keep pushing it until I can get that actually in there.
They probably can't vote on it, I presume. No, till they have it.
But there's been a few issues around some of the proposed uses and things. So we've just got to work through those sort of options. We may need to go back to council for a decision here. But I've said, look, we need to get this settled ASAP.
That's crazy.
So we'll keep pressing.
Thank you, Mark. Anybody else? No? We will go on to Arkarakia. Thank you, everybody. Meeting is closed.
Yes.
Online.